it seems that this year is going to be worse than last year. That's what many of the weather bodies and the Met Department has also said. But moving now to our other big headline, the National Investigation Agency has charge-sheeted 4 people in connection with the blast at Bengaluru's Rameshwaram cafe on the 1st of March. The charge sheet says the accused are ISIS radicals, and they were being funded through cryptocurrency. Radhika, shocking allegations there.
Certainly, Karnataka BJP President Vijayendra Yediyurappa said that months ago, Congress irresponsibly dismissed the Rameshwaram cafe blast as a simple cylinder explosion before any investigation had even started. So it had turned political. There had been a barbs exchange between the Congress and BJP over this incident.
That's right. And now with the NIA's charge sheet revealing the real plot, an ISIS-linked attack aimed at the BJP headquarters in Malleshwaram, in fact, during the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in Ayodhya, the Congress's reckless downplaying is fully exposed, is what the BJP has said. So, of course, as you're saying, Radhika, this had turned really political there. And we'll try and go across to our colleague Pratibha. I'm not sure if she is with us. Okay, Pratibha is with us, is what we're being told. Pratibha is joining us, in fact, from the Rameshwaram cafe. Pratibha, you had reported extensively on the blast that took place back in the month of March, but shocking revelations there in the charge sheet. An ISIS-linked attack is what this is being described as.
That's right. It is definitely shocking, no doubt. But soon after, the NIA took over the investigation. So the blast happened on March 1st. March 3rd is when the NIA took over the investigation. And right since then, there were a lot of information that was being shared with respect to how this blast could have taken place, how the man had come in to plant that bomb, and the kind of connections that he could perhaps have to the previous blast that had taken place in Shimoga and other such places. And the charge sheet only goes to prove that, because what we hear is that they have been charge sheeted under several sections of the IPC, including the UAPA and the Explosive Substances Act. The other thing is that the two of them, that is the man who planted the bomb and the mastermind behind it, the two of them are Sharif as well as Mr. Taha, and Shazib and Mr. Taha, both of them have been involved in this extensively. Both of them were involved in the Shimoga district of Karnataka, where the previous blast took place, and both of them are ISIS radicals, like you've already mentioned, involved in several nefarious activities, including radicalizing several of those youths there. And what is also interesting is the fact that there was an IED attack that was planned, and it failed. And this was planned on 22nd January during the Pran Pratishtha ceremony outside the BJP office in Bengaluru. And that has been one of the definite shocking revelations as far as this charge sheet is concerned. More interesting details should unravel once the investigation is complete. But then for now, it is definitely an important milestone as far as this charge sheet and the investigation is concerned. And yes, like you've already mentioned, there has been a lot of political blame game between the Congress as well as the BJP that I've reported on right since the time when the blast took place. And even now it continues, where the BJP has leveled accusations against the Congress for downplaying this. We are yet to pick up reactions from the Congress, and we are waiting for that. Back to you.
All right, Pratibha, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. Pretty shocking revelations there in the NIA charge sheet. But of course, also the political blame game over this also continues, with the BJP putting the Congress in the dock. But moving now to the big political headline on the breakfast show this morning, Radhika, well, the countdown to the big Haryana elections, and Haryana Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini is all set to file his nomination papers from Ladwa, a very crucial assembly constituency that has traditionally been a stronghold of the BJP as well. But others also expected to file their nomination today, Radhika.
That's right, Haryana Chief Minister to file nomination papers. Of course, as you said, this is an important constituency. 21 candidates to file nomination. In fact, a Chief Minister to file nomination, of course, as you mentioned, from the very important Ladwa Assembly constituency. Haryana, of course, going to polls on October 5. 21 BJP candidates will be filing their nomination papers. Let's go straight across to Gurpreet on this. Gurpreet, of course, big day today. Chief Minister of Haryana will be filing his nomination papers along with several other leaders.
Well, this constituency has a lot of importance for Haryana politics and specifically for the Chief Minister of Haryana, Naib Singh Saini. We have seen that today the central leadership, including the former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, they will be along with the present Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini to file this nomination. We have seen not only the Chief Minister is going to file nomination, we have seen the tall leader in Haryana politics, Captain Abhimanyu, he is also going to file the nomination along with 21%. If we can talk about, the nomination, 21 people are going to file nomination from the BJP party, and most of them will be accompanying with the Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini, because this is the message they want to convey, that the party is united. For the last so many days, we have seen a lot of rebels. They are openly, vocally speaking against the party, and we have seen the central leadership has already given a very clear-cut direction to the state leadership, saying that all should be pacified. So taking along with all the leadership for the filing nomination is a very clear-cut message they want to convey to the masses of Haryana, and specifically for the opposition parties also. So today is a big day for the BJP, and around 21 people from the various locations, they are going to file nomination, and Naib Singh Saini is going to file nomination along with the central leadership to give a very, very strong message that he is the CM face for Haryana BJP. Back to studio.
All right, Gurpreet, thanks very much for joining us with the very latest there, as Gurpreet is reporting a crucial day today, and a lot is at stake for Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini, of course, the crucial OBC face of the BJP. Of course, the BJP's performance in the Lok Sabha polls wasn't really what it expected. So, a lot at stake, as I said, for the BJP and the Chief Minister particularly. But stay on with us, Gurpreet, as we look at the other big headline from Punjab. In fact, Radhika, a local Aam Admi Party leader, Tarlochan Singh, was shot dead at his village in Khana. In fact, he was the party's Kisan Wing coordinator for that Vidhan Sabha constituency. He was earlier with the Akali Dal.
That's right. In fact, Aam Admi Party Farmers Wing President, he was in fact AAP's Farmers Wing President. In fact, he was shot dead in Khana, as you mentioned. On Monday evening, he was returning home from his farm when someone shot him. When Tarlochan was lying on the roadside of the village, his son, along with many others in the village, brought him to a hospital. However, doctors pronounced him dead. So very unfortunate incident there.
That's right. In fact, his son said his father was lying on the roadside, completely covered in blood. In fact, he was lying in a pool of blood. As you mentioned, this is a murder that took place as per the family of the leader there. So far, the police, of course, has not really said that this is a murder. But Radhika, what has the police said?
Well, the police, in fact, are saying that investigations are going on across all the aspects, and accused will be arrested soon. So no arrests have taken place yet. So investigations are currently undergoing. Let's go to Gurpreet for more on this. Gurpreet, unfortunate incident. Aam Admi Party farmers leader shot dead. At this point, what are the police officials telling you? Any trace of the perpetrator at this time?
Well, we have seen that the body has been recovered from the field. So what we have learned from the police official, they say it seems the deep-rooted conspiracy behind this murder. The attackers, the murderers, they know there was no CCTV camera footage, and the police will not be able to get clue. So far, the police are working on the multiple theories. They are also looking into aspect of the political killing and enmity also. We have seen the victim's son has taken him to the hospital. So they are also trying to find out what was the motive behind this murder. What we have learned that he was a renowned person in the village, and he has also contested election as a sarpanch. So they are also trying to find the political killing behind this murder. What we have learned, all the CCTV camera footage from the nearby that had already been procured by the police official, because they wanted to get a clue. Any stranger who has entered in that village and who has gone from that place, they will be able to nab him. So far, they are working on the multiple theories, but exact motive behind this murder is not clear, and that is yet to be cleared. So let's wait for the police investigation, and the police will be able to find out some more clue, and the CCTV footage which they have recovered from the various parts of this incident. They are also trying to corroborate each and everything, and they are also trying to get assistance of the family to find out more behind this murder. Back to studio.
All right, Gurpreet, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. So pretty tragic and shocking there, and this also raises larger concerns in the law and order situation as far as Punjab is concerned. But moving now, well, it's glow time yet again. Radhika, good news for Apple users there. iPhone 16 is now out, and well, from groundbreaking new iPhones to advancements in artificial intelligence, Apple seems to have pushed the boundaries of innovation yet again. So Radhika, iPhone 16, the big reveal there.
That's right. Apple holding its annual September event, its Glow Time last night, and buzz is electrifying, as you mentioned, Vedant. From groundbreaking new iPhones to advancements in artificial intelligence, Apple once again pushing boundaries of innovation.
Absolutely. In fact, Gaurav Chaudhary is now joining us, NDTV's very own tech maestro, our tech guruji. Gaurav, good morning to you. It's glow time, as I can see in your frame. It's, well, there are so many reports about what really the new Apple offering has, from Siri's new interface to, of course, AI really being incorporated into the entire ecosystem. What more can you share with us?
Yeah, I mean, of course, in Cupertino, it's always fun, especially when it's an Apple event. Talking about the glow time, the reference was definitely taken from the new Siri animation that we get now in the iPhones starting iOS 18. And yahan pe bhi, if I talk about the entire launch event, I mean, Apple launched multiple products, basically the new AirPods, the new Apple Watch, and the new iPhone. But the main highlight was AI, and AI here stands for Apple Intelligence. Basically, as per Apple, these new iPhones, the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Pro Max, they are developed ground up while keeping Apple Intelligence into mind. And the kind of demos that we had, for example, the new intelligent Siri that we are getting now, the new writing tools, and all that combined basically clearly shows the way Apple is headed. Because I'm sure Apple has a strong ecosystem, and by enabling these smart features across the devices one by one will definitely create an even stronger ecosystem going forward. तो अभी इस launch में we saw new products, and हर एक जो product है उसमें कहीं ना कहीं there is this smart intelligence baked in. फिर चाहे हम watch की बात करें जहाँ पे the watch kind of predicts and give alerts for sleep apnea, चाहे हम AirPods की बात करें जहाँ पे hearing को लेके जो है वो काफ़ी एक focus रहा है Apple का, या चाहे हम iPhones की बात करें, all around you would definitely see the Apple Intelligence going in as kind of a main goal for Apple and the main direction that Apple is headed going next.
All right, thank you, Gaurav, for getting us all those details and updates as far as this electrifying Apple event is concerned. Let's move on now. On World EV Day, Vedant, India launched the commercial test run for electric trucks in Tamil Nadu, the truck's capital of India, in a bid to get credible data on the cost benefits of electric trucks. So diesel trucks could go electric, Vedant.
That's right. India, in fact, has also put an ambitious plan in place to convert over 5,000 kilometers of highways into EV highways by 2030, with large charging stations every 50 kilometers and assured battery backup support for stranded vehicles in 30 minutes on these highways as well. In fact, NDTV's Sam Daniel in Chennai spoke to the project director of the National Highways for Electric Vehicles as he hopped onto the electric truck on test run.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
What exactly is this kind of a test ride demonstrating?
I think electric trucks, buses, cars, they have been existing in the ecosystem for a long period now. Also the chargers. Both of them, they create a good, realistically very economical way of moving. But they did not got the adoption that we expected. So technical trial, regulatory trial companies does within their premises. This is a commercial trial. This will give a speed to commercial adoption and answer all questions that commercial adoption, commercial decision require.
So if it's an e-highway, what does it mean for an electric car or electric truck?
For audience of NDTV, this is very interesting question. E-highway means if you shut down with your electric vehicle on a highway, within 30 minutes you get in backup with a battery with a connector by the nearest charging station which is having 2 roadside assistant vehicle. Second, if you are on the e-highway, we will also get charging station after each 50 kilometer, a big one, not a small 1-2 dhaba charger. And this big charging station is having all type of chargers for vehicle, for buses, for trucks, for freight, for 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler. And these e-highways are also equipped with a certain amount of services, a certain amount of confirmation that you can take this without worrying on.
How important is for the traditional diesel trucks to switch to electric?
For diesel truck, it is much more important because diesel trucks currently in use are under tremendous pressure of lot of international and national compliances. They have to reduce their carbon footprint. Companies who are using diesel truck, they also have to reduce that carbon footprint. If they will not reduce, then going ahead there are a lot of export issues going to come up, lot of production sustainability issue, even indexing of these companies into the stock exchange might get affected coming.
What will be the cost in terms of comparison, diesel trucks versus electric, and will it also increase the costs for consumers?
So national ambition of logistic expenditure is from 14% to 9%. Is to come in between. Our Minister of Road Transport and Highway has been working relentlessly on this to reduce logistic cost to 1 digit. Now, how much we will be able to deliver, that's the answer which Tamil Nadu is going to give to people. Correct information for policy making, for adoption, for financing, for deployment, for land, for power, all of them they will get an answer.
You said if any electric vehicle requires help on these highways, you will get it in 30 minutes. Does it mean the government is setting up this infrastructure in terms of charging points, in terms of service teams there?
This is a bad idea to give entire responsibility to government to create a network which is look like and which is worth like petrol pump for this new tech.
Right.
It's a good idea to bring PPP model. So all this station and the assets which will come up after the trial, they will be divided between public, private and people. And the best part of this ecosystem is if you are going to set up a charging station as an individual, you don't need a license like petrol pump. Anybody, everybody who are listening me on the NDTV should know this, that you can own a charging station without license. And these stations are the future petrol pumps.
Target across India in terms of getting these EV highways ready, and how many vehicles you have in mind in the first 2 or 3 years?
Germany has an ambition of 4,000 kilometer e-highway by 2030. India has an ambition of 5,500 kilometer e-highway by 2030.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhijit Sinha, for your time. That was Mr. Abhijit Sinha, the National Program Director for the EV highways, talking to us as we are on a test tech trial run of an electric truck between Chennai and Trichy going on. With Suresh in Chennai, Sam Daniel, Find TV.
So truly fascinating there, India's EV revolution, how we're really leading the way. But Radhika, let's end the show today with a story of immense courage. Kate Middleton and a fight against cancer.
That's right. The Princess of Wales shared an update on her health. She shared an emotional video. She said chemo is complete, but there is a long road ahead.
All right, what an inspiring story there, Radhika. But that's it on the breakfast show this morning, but lots more coming up through the week.
Absolutely, it's a wrap on this bulletin of Breakfast Show, but more on the other side and more news tomorrow on the Breakfast Show at the same time.
Hi, I'm Shreya Saran. Kerala's Wayanad area is hit by devastating landslides, resulting in loss of lives and livelihood. Kerala needs your help right now. Let's join NDTV initiative. Come, donate. Let's rebuild Wayanad.
While the world grapples with choked shipping routes owing to geopolitical tensions, a shorter route running along the Russian north coast and passing through the remote Arctic Circle promises a lot.
We are right now standing beside this big icebreaker ship.
Watch this NDTV special from the far west corner of Russia in the Arctic Circle to know more about the Northern Sea route and its significance pertaining to India.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Landslide devastation in Kerala's Wayanad. Join NDTV's initiative. Donate for Kerala.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From maximum A very good morning. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vadva. We have a whole lot lined up for you over the next 1 hour, including corruption in the pollution board. We'll get you all the details. But first, the headlines. Selling your right to live corruption in the pollution body, the CBI has gone ahead and arrested the engineer in the Delhi Pollution Control Board. This is the senior environmental engineer of the Delhi Pollution Control Committee, the DPCC, and 2.39 crore rupees in cash has been seized from the officials' premises, and the FR alleges accepting bribes in exchange for renewing DPCC approvals for private firms. And Maharashtra BJP Chief Chandrasekhar Bavankule's son, Sanket Bavankulé, hit several cars on Monday morning. The chief's son's car hits vehicles and this was as he was returning from a pub. The Neta's son fled after the accident. Mehbooba Mufti's daughter, Iltija Mufti, makes her election debut from her family bastion, Bijbera, and this seat is going to be, in fact, a three-cornered contest. She will will she be able to retain the seat? It's a big question. The contest on the 18th of September will see Iltija Mufti fight it out with Dr. Bashir Veri of National Conference, and the third candidate is BJP's Sufi Yusuf. In the Kolkata horror case, RG Kaur doctors are defiant. They are saying that they will continue with their protest. The doctors say that they will cease to work in order to continue despite the appeal that's been made by the Supreme Court. Do remember what was said by the counsel at the Supreme Court yesterday was because of that strike, 28 people have died because the doctors aren't working. The doctors are saying that the demands remain unfulfilled and the State Health Secretary should quit. And the Modi fear is history is what Rahul Gandhi has reiterated in the United States. Do remember he said this yesterday as well. The fear of agencies left within seconds after the poll verdict is what Rahul Gandhi had to say, wrapping up his attack on Prime Minister Modi during his US visit. He's gone on to say that RSS does not understand India. He alleges that the RSS believes that certain states and communities are inferior to others, while Rahul Gandhi says he's here to spread love, not hatred. And he's also said, don't be arrogant, but be humble. And Apple has unveiled a new iPhone built for artificial intelligence. Apple goes big on AI with hope of a big sales push. The new iPhone 16, starting at $799 which is about 80,000 Indian rupees, comes in two sizes, 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches. The phones are powered by the new A18 chips, which feature a 16 crore neural engine. This is designed for generative AI-linked tasks and Apple Intelligence.
Let's get to our top story, and that is corruption in the pollution body. The CBI has seized 2.39 crore rupees cash from senior environmental engineer Mohammad Arif's residence for alleged bribery. Arif, along with the middleman, was apprehended as part of an investigation into the corruption within the DPCC. The case involves Arif and that middleman Bhagwant Sharan Singh and businessmen Rajkumar Chugh and Gopal Nath Koparia. Arif is accused of accepting bribes from private firms for undue favours related to DPCC consents. The CBI caught Arif and Singh exchanging the bribe red-handed, leading to the recovery of cash and property documents. The investigation is ongoing and further action will be taken based on the findings. And to get more on this, we have my colleague Ishika joining us. Ishika, corruption in the pollution body. This was, the bribe that was being taken for approvals that was been given by the DPCC to private firms.
Well, yes, in fact, as you rightly mentioned, Divya, it is certainly very grave allegations, that were made, and after which, in fact, the CBI has arrested a senior officials of the DPCC. That is the Delhi Pollution Control Committee. And not just that, the CBI has also, in fact, seized over 2 crores, from the officials' residence. Now, CBI had carried out this investigation after they got a complaint that this particular senior official, that is Mohammad Arif, he was, along with the middlemen, he was getting the representation from the private companies and then, giving them undue favors, by taking bribery and giving them the DPCC's consent. Now, certainly in Delhi, where certainly pollution is a very big concern. Now that we are seeing that there are corruption that is happening in the in the top body, one of the top bodies which actually have the responsibility of implementing all the laws for pollution. So certainly it raises a lot of concern from the residents here as well. We are still awaiting the Delhi government's response on this, but this seriously raises concern as to is our right to life, being sold out by the officials who actually have been given the responsibility to safeguard it. Over to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Ishika, for getting us those details. We will keep tracking the story and coming back to you for more on that. Well, switching tracks now to Maharashtra, and an Audi car that was owned by the BJP chief of Maharashtra's Nagpur. This is Chandrasekhar Bavankule's son, Sanket, hit several vehicles in Nagpur. The car driver has been arrested and his blood samples have been sent for medical testing. The occupants were returning from a bar, is what the police has gone on to say. There were a total of 5 people in the car, including the son of the BJP chief in Nagpur. So the car is owned by Sanket Bawankule, the son of Maharashtra BJP chief Chandrasekhar Bawankule. The car, in fact, rammed into several cars that resulted in injuring 2 people.
रात की घटना है, सेंटर पॉइंट होटल के सामने ये घटना हुई है। एक कार ने 2 कार और एक बाइक को डैश करके वो भाग गई है और भाग गई थी। जख्मी कोई नहीं था उसमें और उसका गुना दाखिल कर दिया है। दोनों आरोपियों को अरेस्ट भी कर लिया है और मेडिकल जांच भी करवा ली है। आगे की कार्रवाई चालू है और आरोपियों के नाम अर्जुन हावरे और रोनित चिंतनवार है।
त्या मुलाच्या नावाने ती गाडी आहे आणि पोलिसांनी पूर्ण चौकशी केली पाहिजे, कुणालाही वेगळा न्याय लावू नये आणि पोलीस इन्क्वायरीमध्ये जे जे दोषी असतील त्यावर ती कारवाई केली पाहिजे। मी कुठल्याही पोलीस यंत्रणेची आता बोललो नाही, त्यांना जे आढळेल सीसीटीव्हीमध्ये किंवा जे काही त्याच्यामध्ये गुन्हा दाखल होईल तो सर्वांसाठी न्यायासारखा असला पाहिजे, कोणी राजकारणाचा असो कोणी असो। पण मला जे वाटतं पोलिसांनी पूर्ण इन्क्वायरी केली पाहिजे, सीसीटीव्ही सर्व्हेलन्स तपासले पाहिजे आणि योग्य कारवाई केली पाहिजे। सुदैवाने या अपघातामध्ये परमेश्वराच्या कृपेने कुणालाही त्या ठिकाणी जीवितहानी किंवा काही झाली नाही। मी परमेश्वराचे आभार मानतो, पण ॲक्सिडेंट मात्र याची चौकशी झाली पाहिजे असं मला वाटतं।
And the Congress has announced its third list of candidates for the upcoming Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. This happened late last night. The list comprising of 19 names, including former NSUI President Neeraj Kundan, who has been fielded from the Bishnaha constituency. In addition to Kundan, the party has also nominated Chaudhry Lal Singh to contest from the Basoli seat. Another prominent name on the list is Raman Bhalla, who will be representing the Congress in the Jammu's southern constituencies, the south constituency. With the latest announcement, the Congress has now declared a total of 34 candidates for the assembly polls. And now for our election special, we focus on the Bihar constituency in Kashmir, Mufti family bastion since the 90s, now being contested by Mehbooba Mufti's daughter, Iltija Mufti. But it's not going to be a smooth sail because it's going to be a three-cornered contest, and my colleague Nazir has the details.
Bihar constituency has been a bastion of Mufti family, and PDP's political journey had started from this place more than 25 years ago. In this election, third generation of Muftis, Iltija Mufti, is contesting from this seat. While it is a triangular contest, the main fight is believed to be between Iltija Mufti and National Conference leader Dr. Bashir Ahmed Veeri.
Iltija Mufti's political debut from her family turf Bij Bihara in Anantnag. The constituency will go to the polls on the 18th of this month, in the first assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir after a gap of 10 years. Iltija is both confident and cautious about her election prospects. As she navigates from one village to another, nestled in apple orchards and gushing streams, the 37-year-old is trying to connect with people to carry forward the legacy of her grandfather, Mufti Muhammad Saeed.
Mufti Sahab wanted to honor the mandate, and that's why, and let me tell you, he went into the grave knowing that he had put at stake what cost him decades to build. And this family propaganda doesn't bother me at all. If people accept me, sar aankhon pe. If they don't, big deal.
Iltija's main rival is Dr. Bashir Ahmed Veeri, the National Conference candidate. Dr. Veeri is a former legislator. While he talks about local and livelihood issues, his party's larger political narrative about the scrapping of Article 370 is central to the National Conference's poll campaigning.
हमें तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. You see, in 2014, there was a wave of PDP. मुफ्ती साहब जगह-जगह एक नैरेटिव, जगह-जगह जाके नैरेटिव उन्होंने सेट किया था. अगर आपको बीजेपी और आरएसएस को रोकना है, तो पीडीपी को वोट देना है. And you know कि उस वक्त भी हमने 21,000 वोट उस वेव में भी लाए थे. तो आज उसके मुकाबले में तो सिचुएशन बेटर है हमारे हक में. लेट अस सी, मुझे ज़्यादा फर्क नजर नहीं आता.
Bij Bihara has just 3 contesting candidates, the lowest in any constituency in Kashmir. No independent candidate is contesting from the seat, even as 44% candidates who contest in the first and second phase of elections are independents. The BJP's Sophie Yusuf, the party's old guard in Kashmir, is also contesting from Bij Bihara. He says people are quietly supporting him as they are happy with the BJP for bringing peace in the valley. Besides talking about development and jobs, the BJP candidate promises to release all prisoners in jails as he cites withdrawal against stone pelters after the 2016 agitation in Kashmir.
अब हमारे जो रीजनल पार्टी के लीडर्स हैं, इनको लोगों के पास जाने के लिए कुछ नहीं है. और आज मैं आपकी वसात से बिजबेहरा कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी के लोगों को वादा करता हूँ, जितने भी हमारे जेलों में लोग हैं, सोफी यूसुफ का पहला मकसद यही होगा कि उनको जो जिस तरह राजनाथ सिंह जी ने 12,000 नौजवानों को FIR ख़त्म किए, उनको छोड़ दिया, इस तरह मेरा पहला कदम यही होगा कि जो हमारे बंद हैं, आज मुझे बताइए जमात इस्लामी मेन स्ट्रीम में आ रहे हैं, हम उनको मुबारकबाद देते हैं. सोफी यूसुफ उनको मुबारकबाद देते हैं.
PDP President Mehbooba Mufti has decided not to contest assembly elections till the time Jammu and Kashmir statehood and its special status is restored. She has passed the baton to her daughter Iltija Mufti. And in a changed political scenario after abrogation of Article 370, it's going to be a tough battle. In Bihar with cameraman Amir, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
And from Jammu and Kashmir to Haryana, where the countdown to the polls has begun and the Chief Minister will be filing his nomination papers today. We're talking about Chief Minister Mr. Saini, who will be filing his nomination from the Ladwa Assembly. Do remember that Haryana will be going to polls in less than a month on the 5th of October. 21 BJP candidates to file their nominations, including the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini. And to get more on this, we have my colleague Gurpreet joining us. Gurpreet, we heard the Chief Minister just yesterday talk about how the BJP is excelling in the run-up to the elections, but it is the Congress that's still stuck in ticket allocation.
Well, total 21 candidates from the various constituencies, they are going to file nomination from the BJP party. It's a big day for the BJP, and specifically the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini. He's also going to file his nomination along with the central leadership from Ladwa. Ladwa seat has a lot of importance, not only for the BJP but for the Haryana poll, because the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini, is contesting from this constituency. What we have learnt very clearly, the BJP leadership from the central leadership, they have already conveyed this message to the state leadership that all the rebels should be pacified. And what we have learned after filing a nomination by the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini, he is going along with other candidates to file their nomination. We have seen not only the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini, is going to file his nomination, even the tall BJP leader, Captain Abhimanyu, he is also going to file his nomination. The second list of the BJP is also expected, because the candidates who are not being declared, they will be declared, and after that the nomination process will be started. But today, if we can talk about for the BJP and for Haryana poll, it's a big day because 21 candidates are going to file their nomination from the various constituency from the BJP party. So let's see how the things will be unfolded, and the central leadership, including the former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, he is also going to accompany the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini, to give a very, very strong message among the masses. The party is united, and even those who are trying to raise flag against the party, they are going to be pacified within the party fold. Back to studio.
Thank you so much, Gurpreet. All eyes on the Chief Minister there today filing his nomination from the Ladwa constituency. We will come back to you for more on that. Switching tracks now, talks between the Congress and the Aam Admi Party as far as the tie-up in Haryana, that is now almost has collapsed and fallen through, with Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Admi Party declaring candidates for 20 seats, including 12 of which the Congress has already announced its nominees. So the Aam Admi Party's decision came after the Congress's cold shoulder treatment of demanding for at least 10 of the 90 seats. The Congress never agreed to give more than 4 to 5 seats, and now the Aam Admi Party there, of course, was in that wait and watch situation last week, but the alliance seems to have fallen through.
The Aam Admi Party releasing its list of candidates for Haryana State Assembly elections amid stalled talks for an alliance with the Congress Party. This hours after an ultimatum by the Aam Admi Party saying it would release the name of the candidates if the Congress did not finalize a tie-up.
आम आदमी पार्टी ने अपनी पहली सूची जारी कर दी है और दूसरी सूची भी बहुत जल्द जारी करेंगे।
90 सीट्स पे, सारे 90 सीट्स पे हाउ कॉन्फिडेंट इज आम आदमी पार्टी?
पूरी कॉन्फिडेंट है, पूरी विश्वास के साथ चुनाव को लड़ेंगे।
AAP has made its decision. The Aam Admi Party was in wait and watch mode till last week as talks with the Congress hit a roadblock. The two parties had reached an in-principle deal to reform an alliance that stopped the BJP from sweeping Haryana's 10 Lok Sabha seats for the second straight election in 2024.
But working out a seat share deal proved difficult. The Aam Admi Party demanded for 10 seats, but the Congress was willing to concede only 7.
Sources say the Aam Admi Party wanted 10 seats, but the Congress was only willing to concede 7. Sources also suggest AAP wanted seats in former Chief Minister Bhupendra Singh Huda's staff, which he was expected to allot to a loyalist.
हमारी भी लिस्ट जारी हुई है, तो एक बार क्या बातचीत जो है बातचीत चल रही है, लेकिन क्या होता है वो अपनी राजनीतिक दल अपने हित में अपने कदम आगे बढ़ाते हैं.
Meanwhile, Congress sources told NDTV Aam Admi Party's poor show in the Lok Sabha elections left the Congress with an upper hand in the seat-sharing talks.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
The Congress's position, its state leaders believe, has been strengthened by the signing of wrestlers Vinesh Phogat and Bajrang Punia.
आम आदमी पार्टी भी भ्रष्टाचार की दलदल में फंसी हुई है, कांग्रेस भी भ्रष्टाचार की दलदल में है, और दोनों की दो पार्टियां क्योंकि ना प्रदेश का भला कर सकती हैं ना देश का भला कर सकती हैं. ये आम आदमी की पार्टी नहीं है, ये अकेले आदमी की पार्टी है.
Since the BJP has declared 67 candidates, a lot of rebels are vocally speaking against the party, and we have seen the central leadership of the BJP has already asked the state leadership to go and pacify all these leaders who are not able to get a ticket, but they should remain within the party. So let's see what type of political equation is going to be changed within the coming days. But as of now, it seems it's a challenge for every party to pacify their rebels within the party fold. With Vijay, Rajesh Kumar, this is Group Singh China for NDTV, Chandigarh.
Right, now switching tracks to Rahul Gandhi, who is in the United States, and his latest attack on the BJP and the RSS. During his visit, he has spoken about the fear tactics that have instantly vanished after the elections when it comes to Prime Minister Modi. And he's also underscored the rapid unraveling of the atmosphere of intimidation that the Prime Minister and the BJP had crafted over the years, especially through mounting pressure on small businesses. Rahul Gandhi also went on to say that the RSS, says ideology, does not really understand India, alleging that the RSS believes that certain states and communities are inferior to others. He's also gone on to say that he's here to spread love and not hatred. He's also gone on to say, don't be arrogant, be humble. He's also gone on to claim that Prime Minister Modi's 56-inch chest image is now outdated. Listen in.
बीजेपी ने कितना, मोदी जी ने कितना डर फैलाया, एजेंसीज का दबाव, मीडिया का दबाव, इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट, छोटे बिजनेसेस पे, मीडियम साइज बिजनेसेस पे, और एक सेकंड में सब गायब हो गया. इन पार्लियामेंट आई सी द प्राइम मिनिस्टर राइट अप फ्रंट, एंड आई कैन टेल यू दैट आइडिया ऑफ मिस्टर मोदी, 56-inch chest, direct connection with God, that's all gone. It's history now.
And let's switch tracks now to Punjab, and the local Aam Admi Party leader Tarlochan Singh has been shot dead at a village of Khanna. Do remember, he was the party's Kisan Wing coordinator for the Khanna Vidhan Sabha constituency. And to get more on this, let's just go across to Gurpreet, my colleague who's joining us. Gurpreet, what details do you have of the leader being shot dead?
Well, we have seen as of now, for the police, it's a blind murder case, and the police have already initiated investigation into multiple theories. We have seen the body of this Aam Admi Party leader that has been recovered from near the field. So somewhere down the lane, the police say in the initial investigation, it has come to light that there could be possible that he was killed with a deep-rooted conspiracy. They are also trying to get the CCTV camera footage so that they will be able to identify the people who have just entered in the village, and they are trying to get the assistance from the local villagers. So far, the police is not able to identify the murder behind this whole case, and at the same time, they are not in a position to tell what was the exact motive behind this murder. What we have learned from the police also, they say they are working on the multiple theories, including political killing as well as the old enmity. So let's wait for the police investigation, and once the police will be able to identify the people, after that they will be able to clear what was the exact motive behind this murder. Back to studio.
Right, very shocking incident of the son finding the body of, this was the son who had found the body of his father lying in a pool of blood. This is where he was shot, the murder that has taken place. Now, the police are investigating the matter, and the father, the son has gone on to claim that the father was shot due to enmity. Let's get you the latest from the Kolkata rape and murder case. The junior doctors have gone on to say that they will continue their protest against the horrific rape and murder of the trainee doctor at Kolkata's Arjikor hospital till justice is served. The announcement came late on Monday evening hours after the Supreme Court gave them a 5 p.m. deadline on Tuesday to join back work. Do remember the counsel in the Supreme Court yesterday had said that 28 people have died because the doctors have not resumed their services. The doctors aren't working. The doctors have said that the protest is a people's movement and not the government, nor the Supreme Court should forget that. Accusing the state government of providing misinformation as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, the doctor said that it is not correct to say that the healthcare system has collapsed. The State Health Department in its affidavit has said that 23 people have died due to the strike that is ongoing. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has now asked the CBI to file a fresh report in the case. A fresh status report will be filed next Tuesday. And to get more on this, we have my colleague from Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, joining us. Saurabh, take us through, the doctors, the junior doctors that are continuing with their protests, even though that they were given that deadline, even though the Supreme Court has asked them to come back to work, especially after the council said that it's led to so many people dying because the doctors have not resumed their services.
Yes, of course, there has been that call to return to work and that order to return to work from the Supreme Court, but the doctors seem adamant on continuing their protest and not returning to work. However, eventually, if the Supreme Court lifts the restriction on any punitive action against these protesting doctors who've been away from work for more than a month now, then it remains to be seen what steps the state government takes. The Chief Minister has appealed to them to come back. Will the state government take punitive measures, or will the state government still opt for dialogue with these doctors? Also remember, next Tuesday there's a hearing and the state government has to file a report on what all measures it has taken for the security and safety of these doctors. But like the Supreme Court said also, and like the state government has also pointed out, that it's been a month since these protests have gone on, and the doctors obviously need to return to work. What's keeping them away? They say, if it's the demand of the resignation of the chief minister, etc., those are more those are avenues that can be looked into by courts, etc. The doctors' demands of safety and security, if that has been met, then is there a reason for doctors to stay away from work? That's the question that perhaps will be on everyone's mind. At this point, though, the Supreme Court has made it clear that they have to return to work by 5 p.m. today. The doctors say that they will continue the agitation. They, in fact, also have an agitation planned. In fact, we will be reporting from that agitation venue as well in a short while from now. But obviously, this is something that we will have to see as it develops through the day. 5 p.m. is when that deadline is, and we'll have to see if they return to work or not. And it's not just junior doctors of Arjikor. It is junior doctors of other colleges as well. Arjikor is where the incident has taken place, in Kolkata and its periphery. So obviously these are going to be issues. The doctors say they continue to receive threats, etc. And also, they're worried about the security, etc. And they now have...
Right, Saurabh Gupta there reporting from Kolkata about the protest that continues. The junior doctors there demanding justice be served in the case, and they are unrelenting of that plea and that deadline that was in fact given by the Supreme Court for the junior doctors to resume their services at the hospital. We will keep tracking the story. For now, we are slipping into a very short break. Back with a whole lot more. To stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I'm Shreya Saran. Kerala's Wayanad area is hit by devastating landslides, resulting in loss of lives and livelihood. Kerala needs your help right now. Let's join NDTV initiative. Come, donate. Let's rebuild Wayanad.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
While the world grapples with choked shipping routes owing to geopolitical tensions, a shorter route running along the Russian north coast and passing through the remote Arctic Circle promises a lot.
We are right now standing beside this big icebreaker ship.
What's this?
Welcome back. Let's get you the latest from Bengaluru. And the NIA has charge-sheeted 4 people in connection with the blast at Bengaluru's Rameshwaram cafe on the 1st of March this year. The charge sheet says that the accused are ISI radicals. They were funded through cryptocurrency. Karnataka BJP president has said that months ago the Congress irresponsibly dismissed the attack as a simple cylinder explosion before an investigation had even started. Now with the NIA's charge sheet revealing the real plot, and this is an attack that was aimed at the BJP headquarters in Malleshwaram during the Pran Pratishta ceremony in Ayodhya. Having failed at that first attempt is when the attack was carried out at the city's popular Rameshwaram cafe. But what is really being highlighted here is the Congress's reckless downplaying is fully exposed, is what the BJP in Bengaluru is saying. And staying with news from Bengaluru, crores have been spent and crores have gone down the drain with Bengaluru's pothole mess. Bengaluru's municipal authorities are tasked with a major duty with a 15-day deadline that's been set as per the instruction of Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar. fill the potholes or face the consequences, is what DK Shivkumar has put out while giving that deadline in order to fix this perennial problem. So, they're expecting a smooth ride in, can you really expect that smooth ride in India's Silicon Valley soon? The government has rushed into action with less than a week left for that deadline to be met.
Bengaluru and potholes, they have been synonymous with each other for very, very long. Even in 2019, when I was browsing through social media, I did come across a lot of memes, and the memes continue even in 2024. What you see behind me is one such crater-like situation on the roads that you see. But these potholes are definitely getting filled thanks to the deadline and the action plan that has been set up by the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. DK Shivkumar. Already 1 week is up as far as the 15-day deadline is concerned. While the potholes are getting fixed, people are concerned about the substandard material that is being used. Shouldn't there be tar-like material that needs to be used to cover up these potholes, which is what we also witnessed in different other pockets of the city? Why only cement material here, which could perhaps be washed out? Come monsoon, year on year, there are action plans, deadlines being set. But the question is, will Bengaluru ever become pothole-free? I have with me a resident of Bannerghatta Road, and this is an important stretch that we are on, Bannerghatta Road. And the resident who's been residing here for over 6 years, if you can introduce yourself and tell us what exactly is the problem as far as potholes at Bengaluru are concerned.
My name is Jyoti, and I'm an artist and a writer. So I travel through this road very frequently because to get home. And it's been a perennial problem, with the construction of construction going on. We have to cross, and it takes more time now. And with the potholes, it becomes almost double the time. I got to know that the top leadership, Deputy CM, has taken up this task of getting all the potholes covered. So, I mean, if the top leadership is ready to do it, where is the problem? There has to be implementation at the ground level. Why can't people just gear up and do something for the city?
And let's switch tracks. Now, the GST Council headed by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Monday decided to set up a group of ministers on reducing tax on life and health insurance and cut GST on cancer drugs. Briefing reporters on the outcome of the 54th GST Council meeting, Ms. Sitharaman has gone on to say that they have decided to have a group of ministers to look into the GST rate on health insurance. Let's listen in.
Two new GOMs have been decided. One is on the medical and health insurance, that they will look into this matter and come with a report by end of October, just 1.5 months' time. And the GST Council, which will meet in November, will finalize based on this report which will come from the GOM.
Right, so that we just heard the Finance Minister, and to get more on this, we have my colleague Aishwarya joining us. Aishwarya, a deadline has also been set up. Take us through the details.
So I certainly remember during the last Parliament session was several adjournment notices which were served by the opposition MPs demanding the reduction of the life insurance premiums as far as the GST is concerned, and they demanded a rollback altogether in these policies. So at that point of time, it was Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman who stated that this will be decided in the upcoming GST Council meeting. And yesterday, when the 54th GST Council meeting was constituted under the chairmanship of Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, it was this important matter that was brought in by the finance ministers from different states, and important decisions are taken yesterday as far as the health premium is concerned. The GST imposed on it, it was decided that there would be two group of ministers, one on rate rationalization on the medical and life insurance, and other on the road ahead of the compensation cess. And there is a deadline that has been given to them that by October, it needs to be decided by the GOM that what needs to be done. There would be several consultations that will be done, but the next GST Council meeting, as stated by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, will be in November, which will take the recommendations of the new GOM on health and life insurance as well. And the GST Council meeting will be held on in November to take a call on reduction of rate of the health and life insurance. That's what the Finance Minister clearly stated. But on the other side, it was, remember, several of the finance ministers coming in from different states who attended the meeting also welcomed this move by the government of India, stating that this will help discussion and an elaborate arrangements can be made as far as GST rates are concerned. Remember, the council also decided that the GST rates on cancer drugs will be brought to lower to 5% from existing 12% currently. Remember, on the part of the health insurance, there is GST that is imposed as far as 18% is concerned, and and majorly the finance ministers who attended this meeting stated that either it should be reduced to 5% or altogether should be scrapped as far as the large taxpayers are concerned of the country. This move has been welcomed. Now, what the report of the GOM will suggest till November is something that remains to be seen, whether the government of India will approve the recommendations or whether there would be further discussions is something that we will get to know by November when the next meeting is being called on.
Right, Ashwar, the group of ministers will be submitting its report by the end of October. Thank you so much for joining us with those details. Now, former US Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice has dismissed concerns around Prime Minister Modi's Russia visit, saying that the US cannot hold India to a loyalty test every 5 minutes. Despite persistent opposition in the West over New Delhi's ties with Russia, the former US Secretary of State has said that India cannot be constantly subjected to a test of loyalty. Her remarks have come as the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval gets set to visit Moscow shortly after the Prime Minister's visit to Ukraine, where India offered help in finding a solution to the war between Russia and Ukraine. Let's listen in.
I don't worry too much about the India-Russia relationship, and maybe we here in the United States can get a little bit away from loyalty test every 5 minutes about who's meeting with whom.
And let's, get you the very latest when it comes to Apple. That's come out with this brand new phone, Apple 16. The iPhone 16 is out. It's a glow time. Last night, the new phones were revealed by Apple, and the buzz is already electrifying. From groundbreaking new phones to advancement in artificial intelligence, Apple has once again pushed its boundaries of innovation. But we're not just going to tell you about it. We're going to take you right into the heart of the action. And joining us live from Cupertino, California is none other than NDTV's very own tech maestro, technical Guruji. He was on the ground witnessing the unveiling of the Apple's latest creations firsthand. Gaurav, thank you for speaking with us this morning. So Gaurav, take us through the theme of the event. It's Glow Time was a reference to Siri's new interface. Now that we've seen the event, what does this suggest about the role Siri and AI will be playing in Apple's ecosystem going forward?
Yeah, I mean, of course, in Cupertino, it's always fun, especially when it's an Apple event. Talking about the glow time, the reference was definitely taken from the new Siri animation that we get now in the iPhones starting iOS 18. And yahan pe bhi, if I talk about the entire launch event, I mean, Apple launched multiple products, basically the new AirPods, the new Apple Watch, and the new iPhone. But the main highlight was AI, and AI here stands for Apple Intelligence. Basically, as per Apple, these new iPhones, the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Pro Max, they are developed ground up while keeping Apple Intelligence into mind. And the kind of demos that we had, for example, the new intelligent Siri that we are getting now, the new writing tools, and all that combined basically clearly shows the way Apple is headed. Because I'm sure Apple has a strong ecosystem, and by enabling these smart features across the devices one by one will definitely create an even stronger ecosystem going forward. तो अभी इस launch में we saw new products, and हर एक जो product है उसमें कहीं ना कहीं there is this smart intelligence baked in. फिर चाहे हम watch की बात करें जहाँ पे the watch kind of predicts and give alerts for sleep apnea, चाहे हम AirPods की बात करें जहाँ पे hearing को लेके जो है वो काफ़ी एक focus रहा है Apple का, या चाहे हम iPhones की बात करें, all around you would definitely see the Apple Intelligence going in as kind of a main goal for Apple and the main direction that Apple is headed going next.
Right, Gaurav, also the iPhone 16 lineup was definitely the star of the event as usual. Can you highlight the key upgrades when it comes to the new iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max models?
Okay, so I will give you some major differences or the major upgrades that these new Pro phones bring in. So सबसे पहले तो यहाँ पे the rear ultra wide camera is now bumped up from 12 megapixels to now 48 megapixels. So giving you another high resolution camera packed in the phone for those ultra wide angle shots. एक और जो upgrade हुआ है वो हुआ है display size में, and यहाँ पे now it's for the first time that we are seeing that the standard phone and the Pro phones, they have a difference in screen size. Usually पहले ऐसा नहीं होता, पहले iPhone 15 screen was exactly the same as the iPhone 15 Pro in terms of dimensions, but यहाँ पे this time it's a change. So the 16 Pro comes at 6.3 inches and the 16 Pro Max now has a bigger 6.9 inch screen, basically the biggest screen in any iPhone till date. और यहाँ पे Apple has achieved this by basically ensuring that the bezels are as thin as possible, and as per Apple, these phones, they have the thinnest bezels in any Apple product till date. इसके अलावा एक और नया अपडेट हो गया है क्योंकि अभी we are getting this all new and powerful A18 Pro chip. This would kind of enable even better performance, and especially for AI tasks, these new chips would definitely have all the horsepower that's required. एक और change हुआ है, it is the new camera control button that we are getting on the side of the iPhone. It kind of enables you to just trigger the camera in just a pinch, और उसके बाद you can use the same camera control to switch between, let's say, different zoom levels. You want to adjust different settings. It is kind of creating this pro environment for all the photographers, for all the videographers. And speaking of video, now these new Pro phones also have support for 4K recording at 120 FPS, essentially giving you the control later on in the edit that you can slow down your recording. So all together अगर हम देखते हैं तो there are certain improvements here and there, for example in the camera, in the performance, in the screen, in this new button, and इसी के साथ साथ we are getting the new colors as well. We have the white titanium, we have the black titanium, और इसी के साथ we have the natural titanium, लेकिन एक नया color आ गया है this time. It is called the desert titanium. So that's all from the iPhone 16 Pro lineup.
Right, you mentioned the colors, and now Apple is making a big push into AI with Apple Intelligence, like you mentioned, but there's also an upgrade when it comes to Siri. How significant are these updates for Apple, and how would you compare this with the competition that already exists in AI?
Yeah, surely. I mean, we have seen this approach that Apple has taken. Even at the WWDC, we saw that the announcement towards Apple Intelligence was something, a major move from Apple. And आज भी जब हम देखते हैं, for example, the new smarter improved Siri, the new smarter AI features that Apple is packing in, कहीं ना कहीं they kind of make the overall experience really good while you use these devices. Now, if you do a comparison from, for example, what Samsung is offering as the Galaxy AI, or for example what Google is doing in its Pixel phones, I think all the brands, they are taking kind of this approach wherein they are baking AI tools all across, and they're just sprinkling them throughout the phone. For example, in Apple, you have these smart editing options now in the Photos app. You have the writing tools available. You can ask Siri and just go between questions back and forth. So all things together, packed in. I think AI going forward for all the phones, not just the iPhones, in fact even the Android phones, would be a major pillar that people would definitely look at. Just like today हम देखते हैं phone में कि camera कैसा है या processor कैसा है, going forward these AI features would definitely be quite important while you are comparing between two phones or while you are picking your next phone. तो यहाँ पे भी Apple has kind of enabled these smart features all across the OS थोड़ा थोड़ा करके, and basically the only thing is that these features are not available like right now. Apple is planning to roll them out like slowly and slowly. So let's see once they hit the consumers' phones, how exactly is the experience of using all these new Apple Intelligence features.
Right, Gaurav, thank you for getting us all the very latest from Cupertino in California. He's reporting to us right after that Apple event that's launched multiple products, including the brand new iPhone 16. We're switching tracks now. On World Electric Vehicle Day, India launched the commercial test run for electric trucks in Tamil Nadu, the trucks capital of the country, in a bid to get credible data on the cost benefits of electric trucks, so diesel trucks could go electric. Now, India also has an ambition plan to convert 5,500 kilometers of highways into electric vehicle highways, and that task, they have set a deadline of another 6 years from now by 2030, with large charging stations every 50 kilometers, and they've also assured battery backup support for stranded vehicles in 30 minutes on these highways. NDTV Sam Daniel spoke to the project director of the National Highways for Electric Vehicles as he hopped onto the electric truck on that test run. Take a look.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. What exactly is this kind of a test ride demonstrating?
I think electric trucks, buses, cars, they have been existing in the ecosystem for a long period now. Also the chargers. Both of them, they create a good, realistically very economical way of moving. But they did not got the adoption that we expected. So technical trial, regulatory trial companies does within their premises. This is a commercial trial. This will give a speed to commercial adoption and answer all questions that commercial adoption, commercial decision require.
So if it's an e-highway, what does it mean for an electric car or electric truck?
For audience of NDTV, this is very interesting question. E-highway means if you shut down with your electric vehicle on a highway, within 30 minutes you get a backup with a battery with a connector by the nearest charging station, which is having 2 roadside assistant vehicle. Second, if you are on the e-highway, we will also get charging station after each 50 kilometer, a big one, not a small 1-2 dhaba charger. And this big charging station is having all type of chargers for vehicle, for buses, for trucks, for freight, for 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler. And these e-highways are also equipped with a certain amount of services, a certain amount of confirmation that you can take this without worrying on.
How important is for the traditional diesel trucks to switch to electric?
For diesel truck, it is much more important, because diesel trucks currently in use are under tremendous pressure of a lot of international and national compliances. They have to reduce their carbon footprint. Companies who are using diesel truck, they also have to reduce that carbon footprint. If they will not reduce, then going ahead there are a lot of export issues going to come up, lot of production sustainability issue, even indexing of these companies into the stock exchange might get affected coming.
What will be the cost in terms of comparison, diesel trucks versus electric, and will it also increase the cost for consumers?
So national ambition of logistic expenditure is from 14% to 9%. Is to come in between. Our Minister of Road Transport and Highway has been working relentlessly on this to reduce logistic cost to 1 digit. Now, how much we will be able to deliver, that's the answer which Tamil Nadu is going to give to people. Correct information for policy making, for adoption, for financing, for deployment, for land, for power, all of them they will get an answer.
You said if any electric vehicle requires help on these highways, you will get it in 30 minutes. Does it mean the government is setting up this infrastructure in terms of charging points, in terms of service teams there?
This is a bad idea to give entire responsibility to government to create a network which is look like and which is worth like petrol pump for this new tech.
Right.
It's a good idea to bring PPP model. So all this station and the assets which will come up after the trial, they will be divided between public, private and people. And the best part of this ecosystem is if you are going to set up a charging station as an individual, you don't need a license like petrol pump. Anybody, everybody who are listening me on the NDTV should know this, that you can own a charging station without license. And these stations are the future petrol pumps.
Target across India in terms of getting these EV highways ready, and how many vehicles you have in mind in the first 2 or 3 years?
Germany has an ambition of 4,000 kilometer e-highway by 2030. India has an ambition of 5,500 kilometer e-highway by 2030.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhijit Sinha, for your time. That was Mr. Abhijit Sinha, the National Program Director for the EV highways, talking to us as we are on a test tech trial run of an electric truck between Chennai and Trichy going on. With Suresh in Chennai, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Thank you, Sam, for getting us that story. And now moving on to the festival of Ganesh Chaturthi that's being celebrated with great pomp and show in Maharashtra. This year, many pandals have adopted a theme associated with Make in India and the pride of the country, which is not only reflecting the enthusiasm of the devotees, but also manifests the spirit of patriotism. My colleague Anuj gets us all the details.
Colour, fervour and craftsmanship mark the Ganesh pandals in Mumbai. Millions pray to the idols made by these sculptors.
उसमें कोई भी डाई का साचा का यूज नहीं होता है, तो उन्होंने वो वहाँ से परंपरा चालू किया है। वो आज तक गणेश गली देख रही है और उनके बाद बहुत से ऐसे कलाकार आए, अन्ना तोंडोलकर बागवे, और उनके बाद विजय खातू, और विजय खातू के बाद मैं भी उनके यहाँ पे अभी 10-15 साल से मुंबई का राजा गणपति बना रहा हूँ।
Reshma Khatu, daughter of legendary idol maker Vijay Khatu, tells us about the journey of succeeding one of the best in the business.
2017 में जब मेरे पापा गुजर गए तो उसका रियलाइजेशन उनके जाने के बाद उस दिन मुझे हुआ, क्योंकि बहुत भारी संख्या में उनके जो फैन थे वहाँ पे आए थे, और उस दिन रियलाइज़ हुआ कि विजय खातू मेरे लिए पापा है लेकिन दुनिया के लिए बहुत बड़ा नाम है, और उनकी जो खाली स्पेस है वो मुझे भरने की बहुत ज़रूरत है, क्योंकि वो नाम और वो चेहरा आज भी इस उत्सव में चलना मुझे ऐसा लगा बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है।
While Satish Valivadkar makes idols for 15 to 20 mandals, the one that stands out every year is Mumbai Cha Raja.
बड़ा मैं भाग्यवान मानूंगा कि मुंबई का राजा मुझे गए 10-15 साल से बनाने मिल रहा है। हर साल अलग अलग स्वरूप में, अलग अलग रूप में गणपति को साकारा जाता है, और मेन ये है कि वो हाथ से बनाया जाता है, ये इसके लिए। और जो कैसा है, जो मज़ा हाथ से बनाने में है वो मज़ा इतर दूसरा कोई असेंबलिंग में नहीं उतना आता है।
The sculptors have their own ways of finishing their jobs effectively, like taking fewer assignments or preferring POP over any other material.
इसका मीडियम जो यूज़ हम करते हैं वो POP का रहता है, तो इसी वजह से हम कम टाइम में जो है मूर्तियाँ बना पाते हैं और दे पाते हैं। और ये हम लोगों ने एक मीडियम चूज़ किया है, एक माध्यम चूज़ किया है जो कन्वीनियंट है मंडल की तरफ से भी, मंडल के लिए भी और हमारे लिए भी। तो इस प्रोसेस में लगभग अगर एक ही मूर्ति में लूँ तो लगभग एक 15-20 दिन काफ़ी है।
The usage of plaster of Paris or POP is a point of debate. While environmentalists continue to bat for eco-friendly Ganeshas, sculptors have a different perspective.
ये इशू कब होता है जब ये लोग विसर्जन का मुद्दा उठाते हैं। प्रशासन ने क्या करना चाहिए, विसर्जन समिति से लेके सब जन, वो जो मूर्ति कैसे विसर्जन होना चाहिए, पीओपी की मूर्ति कैसे विसर्जन होना चाहिए, मट्टी की कैसे विसर्जन होना चाहिए, वो अभी सब समुद्र में जाने के बाद उनका कैसा प्रयास होना चाहिए कि बड़ा मूर्ति कैसा विसर्जन, ये सब ध्यान उन्होंने देना चाहिए, उसको क्लियर भी करना चाहिए, तो इशू ही नहीं होएगा, तुम्हारा समुद्र भी क्लियर रहेगा।
कन्वीनियंट है पीओपी एक्चुअली मूर्तिकारों के लिए। शॉर्ट पीरियड में मुंबई जैसे इलाके में कम जगह मिलती है, बहुत शॉर्ट टाइम के लिए जगह मिलती है, 3-4 महीने के लिए, उस हिसाब से पीओपी बहुत कन्वीनियंट है, बहुत जल्दी हम बना सकते हैं। और रही विसर्जन की बात कि बहुत लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि उसे विसर्जित करना नामुमकिन है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। अगर शासन हमारा सहयोग करे तो हम भी शासन का सहयोग ज़रूर करेंगे।
Sculpting Ganesh idols for mandals which are over a century old is indeed a challenging task. But doing it with your hands is even more challenging. According to the sculptors from the current generation, This is a dying art. While the tradition of sculpting huge idols will continue in the future, but how much of human intervention will be there in the coming years will be a question that only time will be able to answer. With camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, this is Anuj Raiti reporting from NDTV 24/7.
Right, thank you so much, Anuj, for getting us all those details with the country there celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi. And with that, we're wrapping up this edition. We will be back with a whole lot more on the other side. Just stay with us. In the Delhi Pollution Control Body, Senior Environmental Engineer of the 2.39 crore rupees that has been seized in cash from the officials' premises. An FIR has gone on to allege that he was accepting bribes in exchange for renewing approvals by the DPCC for private firms. The car of the BJP chief in Maharashtra has injured two, while the driver has now been held. We're talking about Maharashtra BJP chief Chandrasekhar Bavankule's son, Sanket Bavankule, who hit several vehicles on Monday. The Maharashtra BJP chief's son's car has hit vehicles. However, the driver has been arrested. The police have gone on to say that they were returning from a pub, and that is when the son of the BJP chief fled from the accident. Mehbooba Mufti's daughter, Iltija Mufti, makes her election debut. She will be facing a three-cornered contest. She will be up against National Conference's Dr. Bashir Veri, and the third candidate is BJP's Sufi Yusuf. And in the Kolkata horror case, the doctors remain defiant. They are saying they'll continue with their protests even though they've been given a deadline by the Supreme Court.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Landslide devastation in Kerala's Wayanad. Join NDTV's initiative. Donate for Kerala.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Hi, I'm Shreya Saran. Kerala's Wayanad area is hit by devastating landslides, resulting in loss of lives and livelihood. Kerala needs your help right now. Let's join NDTV initiative. Come, donate. Let's rebuild Wayanad.
It's 10 a.m. You are watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Rameshwaram. We've got an action-packed bulletin lined up for you over the next 1 hour. Let's begin with the top stories you need to know. Attempt to derail goods train in Rajasthan's Ajmer. A day after the Kanpur train collision, an accident has now been averted in Rajasthan's Ajmer. Cement blocks were on the rail track. The police have launched a probe. No alliance with Nitish Kumar in the future. This is what Tejashwi Yadav has told NDTV. He lashes out at Nitish Kumar. The Chief Minister came with folded hands for an alliance. This is what Tejashwi Yadav has told NDTV. Chief Minister in Haryana will file his nomination papers for the upcoming polls. Shortly, Nayab Saini will file his nomination papers in Ladwa. The Aam Admi Party's first list is meanwhile out after a solo fight announcement. An Audi owned by Maharashtra BJP Chief Chandrasekhar Bawankule's son, Sanket Bawankule, hit several vehicles on Monday morning in Nagpur's area, after which two of its occupants, including the driver, were arrested. Police say that he was returning from a pub and the Neta's son fled after the accident. Kolkata horror, the RG car doctors remain defiant. Doctors say cease work to continue despite the top court's appeal. The doctors in fact they say the demands are unfulfilled. The state health secretary should quit, but amid this massive outrage, the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee says that people should return to Durga Puja celebrations, and that has sparked widespread criticism. Our big focus, well, RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav has hit out at his chacha and now gone on record to say that in the future there will be no alliance with Nitish Kumar. In fact, he's attacked the Chief Minister. He said that the government was run by 5 people. He said Nitish actually came for the alliance with folded hands. Here's an NDTV exclusive for you.
देखिए कितनी बार वो 7-8 बार इधर आए और गए, इधर आए और गए, ये उधर इधर जाते रहते हैं, खुद को समझ मस्त रहते हैं, लेकिन बाकी में ये पस्त हैं, हो चुके हैं। आप देखिएगा कोई क्रेडिबिलिटी नहीं रहेगी ना, कोई इकबाल नहीं रह गया, एक अधिकारी मुख्यमंत्री की नहीं सुनता, कोई स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट नहीं है बिहार में। आप बता दीजिए ना 11-12 के बाद से कौन सा स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट आपने देखा हो? क्या फ़ायदा इस सरकार का? 1.5 साल उधर, 1.5 साल इधर, 1.5 साल उधर, फिर 1.5 साल इधर। आप किस एजेंडे पे चल रहे हैं, क्या करना चाह रहे हैं? तो पूरी तरीके से जो क्रेडिबिलिटी है मुख्यमंत्री की, जो इकबाल है, कानून व्यवस्था भी लचर हो चुका है, अपराधियों से मिलना, उनके यहाँ जाना, अब यही काम रह गया मुख्यमंत्री जी का। बिहार में क्या चल रहा है, पुल पे पुल गिरे जा रहे हैं, पुलिये गिरे जा रहे हैं, पेपर लीक हो रहा है, डेली अपहरण हो रहा है, हत्याएं हो रही हैं, बलात्कार हो रहा है। ना मुख्यमंत्री जी जनता से कोई बात करते हैं, ना जनप्रतिनिधि से मिलते हैं, चाहे किसी भी दल के हों। वो केवल एक सिस्टम उनका है कि 4-5 लोग हैं, बस उन्हीं के बीच उनको रहना है, उन्हीं की बातों को सुनना है, वैसे ही अपना। हम ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि अब मुख्यमंत्री जी अब उनका कुछ नहीं रह गया, अब वो केवल मुखौटा है, पीछे से चंद लोग जो हैं वो सरकार चला रहे हैं, जो कि पूरी तरीके से बीजेपी से घिरे हुए लोग हैं।
आपने कहा कि अब उनसे कोई समझौते की बात नहीं हो सकती, कोई उनके साथ तालमेल
नहीं, कोई मतलब नहीं है। क्यों? कोई मतलब नहीं है। हम लोगों ने काफ़ी बार मौका दिया उनको, हम नहीं गए थे उनके यहाँ, वो खुद आए थे यहाँ, उन्होंने हाथ जोड़ा था हमारी माता के सामने, सार्वजनिक तौर पे विधानसभा में हम माफ़ी मांगी थी, भाषण उठा के देख लीजिए, कई चैनलों में वो बोला करते थे कि इन लोगों को फंसाया है, फिर बिना एक्सक्यूज के कहीं भी चले जाना। मतलब मन में अब तो दिखता है कि नीतीश कुमार जी को किसी से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, कोई किसी को वो पसंद नहीं करते सिवाय अपने आप के।
Well, Tejashwi Yadav has taken a jibe at his chacha Nitish Kumar and claimed that his party, the Janata Dal United, repeatedly seeks help, asserting that he would not maintain any alliance with the Bihar Chief Minister in future. In fact, he attacked Nitish Kumar and said that the Chief Minister is run by 5 people. He came for the alliance with folded hands. And Tejashwi Yadav, by the way, is on an 8-day yatra across Bihar. Now, there was speculation around Tejashwi and Nitish Kumar's relationship. It had been rife after a recent meeting between the two leaders to actually discuss the appointment of 2 information commissioners. But as you've heard, Mr. Tejashwi Yadav, he's attacked Nitish Kumar and said in future, his party will not be seeking the Janata Dal United's help, asserting that he would not maintain any sort of alliance with Nitish Kumar in the future. In fact, Nitish Kumar has, his party, JDU's Rajiv Ranjan, has now said that for Tejashwi, it is like grapes are sour, because he was questioning who's approaching them for an alliance now. In fact, the JDU has rubbed in that they stand steadfast with the NDA. Well, we have breaking news coming in from Rajasthan at the moment. Unidentified assailants try to derail a goods train in Rajasthan's Ajmer by placing 2 cement blocks that we are told weighed about 70 kgs on the rail track. Despite hitting the cement blocks, we can inform our viewers that the train was able to continue its journey without any damages. But my colleague Harsha Kumari Singh has been tracking the latest developments for us. She joins us at the moment. Harsha, as per latest details, a 70 kg cement block was on the rail track, and this is emerging a day after the Kanpur cylinder collision?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, this happened late on the night of 8th September. Right. And we've been told that this goods train went through those cement blocks. In fact, there were 2 cement blocks. It went through one of them at least. And then he went and reported it in Ajmer, because this is about 50 kilometers away from Ajmer, between Jaipur and Ajmer, at a place close to a place called Fulera, where this happened. The cement blocks flew off, so they found one broken cement block and another block close to the railway tracks. The GRPF has gone there, surveyed the situation. Luckily, there was no derailment or no kind of casualty, but it's very worrying that this is the 3rd such incident that has happened. One incident in August happened between Kota and Bara, towards that side of Rajasthan. Then another incident happened between Jodhpur and Pali. These are all main rail routes which carry passenger trains from Rajasthan going towards Bombay, going towards Surat. So these are very critical rail routes. And this kind of an activity is very worrying now for the railways, because like I said, this is the 3rd time that something like this has happened. And, there's a worry that there could be a larger conspiracy. We saw what happened in UP. It was reported yesterday about how there was a gas cylinder there with, explosive material. So obviously, it is definitely a conspiracy. It's not just miscreants trying to just create trouble. There seems to be an attempt to, sort of, derail trains, some kind of a recce that's happening. We are in touch with railway authorities, and let's see what the investigation comes up with. 3 different places it's happened in Rajasthan, it's happened in UP. So is there a larger conspiracy?
Thanks so much, Harsha, for joining us with that update. As my colleague Harsha Kumari Singh is highlighting, it was a close shave for the goods train in Ajmer, and unfortunately, this is the 3rd train derailment bid in Rajasthan. I must inform you that as far as the details we've accessed currently, unidentified assailants have tried to derail a goods train in Ajmer by actually placing 2 cement blocks weighing 70 kg each on the rail track. Now, this is actually indicating that there may be a larger conspiracy, but of course, the Railways is probing the current incident and is expected to get back to us shortly with an update. But despite hitting the cement blocks, the train was able to continue its journey without any damages, fortunately. But this is the latest incident coming in from Rajasthan at the moment, a train derailment bid in Ajmer after 70 kg cement blocks were found on the rail track. You must also note that this is a day after the Kanpur cylinder collision. It was a close shave for the goods train in Ajmer, and this is the 3rd train derailment bid in Rajasthan. Right, if for our viewers just tuning in, I must recap the top story we're currently tracking. Unidentified assailants have tried to derail a goods train in Rajasthan's Ajmer. What we can share with you is that 70 kg cement blocks have been discovered on the track. This is a day after the Kanpur cylinder collision. It is being called a close shave for the goods train in Ajmer, but despite hitting the cement blocks, the train was able to continue its journey without any damages, fortunately. But what we have to note is that this was the 3rd train derailment bid in Rajasthan. A major rail accident has been averted in Rajasthan's Ajmer. In fact, This rail accident has been averted on the Ajmer-Ahmedabad route. The police have now launched a probe into this train derailment bid, especially after it happened a day after the train hit an LPG cylinder in Kanpur. My colleague Vasudha is also with us at the moment. Vasudha, the railways, have they launched a probe, and what are the details you can disclose to our viewers currently?
Well, Parmeshwar, what I get to know from my Railway Ministry sources is that the Railway Ministry is cognizant of these incidents which have happened in the recent past. In fact, they have made a dossier of sorts in which they have noted that there are at least 24 such incidents where there could be suspicions of an attempts of derailments that can be raised, which is why the Railway Ministry is very sort of sensitive, and it has marked hypersensitive zones and hypersensitive areas across the country. It has looked at all these 24 incidents, and there have been, if you look at the list, which of course we will also put out in a bit, and it has instances of signal tampering. It has instances of a man placing a bike on railway tracks, and it also has instances where gas cylinders, the hammers of gas cylinders have been placed and strategically placed in front of on railway tracks so that they come in front of railway tracks. So there's this there is this detailed study that the Railway Ministry has done. It is looking at these instances. There are 24 of them which have happened in the last 1 year, specifically from May last year. About 21 of them since this government took place, since this government came into power, Modi 3.0, and all of that is being looked into very clearly. The Railway Ministry also has said that they have marked hypersensitive zones, and they are also looking at ways in which there could be increased monitoring of situation, patrolling of those areas, and most importantly, the coordination between state police also has to be increased, which is why it has also asked for reports from state police. Remember that an FIR has been lodged in the Prayagraj case in which 6 people have been detained. So clearly, the Railway Ministry believes that if there is instant action against the wrongdoers, then other people will also be warned, which is why it has sprung into action. In a few days from now, we'll get to know as to what the ministry exactly is doing with respect to these attempts to derailments and who is really behind this.
Right, thanks so much, Vasudha, for joining us with that live update. As my colleagues Vasudha and Harsha are reporting, the police have registered an FIR under the Railway Act and Prevention of Damage to Public Property Act after railway employees have lodged a complaint regarding this incident in Ajmer. With that, let's turn our attention now to Uttarakhand. Breaking news coming in regarding a landslide en route to Kedarnath. In fact, unfortunate news coming in from Uttarakhand. 3 bodies were taken out and the rescue operations are currently underway. Recovered bodies have been handed over to the police. We have these details thanks to my colleague Kishore Rawat, who's tracking the finer details for us on Ground Zero. Kishore, as we've heard, the NDRF and SDRF are carrying out rescue operations, and apparently the recovered bodies have been handed over to the police. What details can you disclose to us from Ground Zero currently?
देखिए, अगर अभी करंट सिचुएशन की बात करें तो एनडीआरएफ, एसडीआरएफ, उसके साथ पुलिस और जो स्थानीय स्पेशलाइज्ड लोग हैं उनका एक रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन अभी भी चल रहा है। कल देर शाम 7:30 पर ये एक सूचना मिली थी कि सोनप्रयाग से गौरीकुंड के बीच में जहाँ पर भूस्खलन हुआ है वहाँ पर काफी बड़ा मलबा और पत्थर गिर रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से नुकसान होने की खबर है। उसी को देखते हुए लगातार रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन चलाया। तो रात को एक डेड बॉडी को रिकवर किया और इसके अलावा 2 लोग जो घायल थे उनको भी सुरक्षित वहां से निकाला गया। लेकिन सुबह जिस तरीके से देर रात भी लगातार रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन चलता रहा, लेकिन बारिश और रात होने की वजह से ऑपरेशन को देर रात हल्का सा रोकना पड़ा और फिर सुबह जैसे ही इस ऑपरेशन को शुरू किया गया उस दौरान 3 डेड बॉडीज को रिकवर किया एनडीआरएफ और एसडीआरएफ ने और उसको पुलिस के हैंडओवर किया है। उसमें पंचनामा और तमाम जो कार्रवाई होती है वो पुलिस उसको करेगी। और ये सभी यात्री थे जो केदारनाथ धाम की यात्रा से लौट रहे थे और अचानक वहां पर लैंडस्लाइड और बाउल्डर्स गिरने की वजह से ये हादसा हुआ। फिलहाल अभी इसमें अभी रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन चल रहा है, लेकिन 3 डेड बॉडीज को सुबह रिकवर किया है। जी,
Thanks so much, Kishore, for joining us with the latest information you've accessed. Unfortunate news coming in from Uttarakhand. A landslide has taken place on the way to Kedarnath and 3 people have lost their lives. In other crucial news, an Audi owned by Maharashtra BJP Chief Chandrasekhar Bavankule's son, Sanket Bavankule, hit several vehicles on Monday morning in Nagpur, and after which 2 of its occupants, including the driver, were arrested. The car driver has been arrested and his blood samples have been sent for medical testing, we're told. But the occupants were returning from a beer bar as per the latest details that the police has disclosed. There were a total of 5 people in the car. This includes Sanket Bavankule. This is at the time of the accident. The Audi, we're told, first collided with a Jitendra Sokambale car, which is around 1 a.m., and then with a moped, leaving 2 young people riding it injured. Rameshwaram has further details for us. While the drivers nabbed, 3 occupants, including Sanket Bavankule, actually fled the scene.
An Audi car owned and occupied by Maharashtra BJP State President Chandrasekhar Bavankule's son Sanket hit several vehicles in Nagpur. This incident happened in wee hours of Monday. 5 people were occupying that particular car, including Sanket at the time of the accident. In fact, the car hit 2 cars and 1 bike, injuring 2 people. In fact, soon after the accident, Sanket fled from the spot along with 2 other occupants of the car. Of course, 2 people have been arrested at this point, which also include the person who was driving that particular car. We're also made to understand that all these 5 people, including Sanket, were returning from a beer bar in Nagpur area when this incident happened. Was the person who was behind the wheels under the influence of alcohol? That is something that remains to be seen at this point. Of course, a case has been registered for rash and negligent driving. Medical examination has also been carried out, results of which is awaited. But very importantly, Sanket, who is the son of Maharashtra BJP President, fled from the spot. Now, at this point, of course, Maharashtra BJP President has reacted to this, while the Congress has attacked the BJP over the incident, saying that the BJP leaders will try to protect the son as far as this entire accident is concerned. Bavankule has reacted, saying that law must be equal for all and action will be taken against the perpetrators. That's the reaction which came in from Maharashtra BJP President, whose son was involved in the accident. But at this point, remains to be seen what the investigations will reveal at this point. Of course, 2 people are so far arrested, and Sanket Bavankule, in fact, fleeing the spot. 2 people injured in this particular accident that happened in Nagpur in Vias.
Let's get you a quick update from battleground Haryana now. Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini will file his nomination papers shortly in the Ladwa constituency for the upcoming state assembly elections. As we've been reporting, Haryana goes to polls on the 5th of October. 21 BJP candidates are expected to file their nominations along with the Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini during the course of the day. My colleague Gurpreet Singh Chinna joins you with the latest.
Well, total 21 candidates from the various constituencies, they are going to file nomination from the BJP party. It's a big day for the BJP and specifically the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini. He's also going to file his nomination along with the central leadership from Ladwa. Ladwa seat has a lot of importance not only for the BJP but for the Haryana poll, because the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini, is contesting from this constituency. What we have learnt very clearly, the BJP leadership from the central leadership, they have already conveyed this message to the state leadership that all the rebels should be pacified. And what we have learned after filing a nomination by the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini, he is going along with other candidates to file their nomination. We have seen not only the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini, is going to file his nomination, even the tall BJP leader, Captain Abhimanyu, he is also going to file his nomination. The second list of the BJP is also expected, because the candidates who are not being declared, they will be declared, and after that a nomination process will be started. But today, if we can talk about for the BJP and for Haryana poll, it's a big day because 21 candidates are going to file their nomination from the various constituency from the BJP party. So let's see how the things will be unfolded, and the central leadership, including the former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, he is also going to accompany the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini, to give a very, very strong message among the masses. The party is united, and even those who are trying to raise flag against the party, they are going to be pacified within the party fold. back to studio.
Well, now for our election special from Jammu and Kashmir, we focus on the Bijbehara constituency in Kashmir. Iltija Mufti is fighting her first political battle in her family's home turf, also known as Bijbehara Shri Gufwara constituency, and it isn't an easy one. She is in a direct contest with National Conference veteran Bashir Viri, but Mufti family bastion since the 90s, now being contested by Mehbooba Mufti's daughter Iltija. But it's not all smooth sailing. This is what my colleague Nazir Masoodi reports.
Bijbehara constituency has been a bastion of Mufti family, and PDP's political journey had started from this place more than 25 years ago. In this election, third generation of Muftis, Iltija Mufti, is contesting from this seat. While it is a triangular contest, the main fight is believed to be between Iltija Mufti and National Conference leader Dr. Bashir Ahmed Viri.
Iltija Mufti's political debut from her family turf Bijbehara in Anantnag. The constituency will go to the polls on the 18th of this month, in the first assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir after a gap of 10 years. Iltija is both confident and cautious about her election prospects. As she navigates from one village to another, nestled in apple orchards and gushing streams, the 37-year-old is trying to connect with people to carry forward the legacy of her grandfather, Mufti Muhammad Saeed.
Mufti Sahab wanted to honor the mandate, and that's why, and let me tell you, he went into the grave knowing that he had put at stake what cost him decades to build. And this family propaganda doesn't bother me at all. If people accept me, sar aankhon pe. If they don't, big deal.
Iltija's main rival is Dr. Bashir Ahmed Viri, the National Conference candidate. Dr. Viri is a former legislator. While he talks about local and livelihood issues, his party's larger political narrative about the scrapping of Article 370 is central to the National Conference's poll campaigning.
हमें तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. See, in 2014, there was a wave of PDP. मुफ्ती साहब जगह-जगह एक नैरेटिव, जगह-जगह जाके नैरेटिव उन्होंने सेट किया था. अगर आपको बीजेपी और आरएसएस को रोकना है, तो पीडीपी को वोट देना है. एंड यू नो कि उस वक्त भी हमने 21,000 वोट उस वेव में भी लाए थे. तो आज उसके मुकाबले में तो सिचुएशन बेटर है हमारे हक में. लेट अस सी, मुझे ज़्यादा फर्क नजर नहीं आता.
Bijbehara has just 3 contesting candidates, the lowest in any constituency in Kashmir. No independent candidate is contesting from the seat, even as 44% candidates who contest in the first and second phase of elections are independents. The BJP's Sophie Yusuf, the party's old guard in Kashmir, is also contesting from Bijbehara. He says people are quietly supporting him as they are happy with the BJP for bringing peace in the valley. Besides talking about development and jobs, the BJP candidate promises to release all prisoners in jails as he cites withdrawal against stone pelters after the 2016 agitation in Kashmir.
अब हमारे जो रीजनल पार्टी के लीडर्स हैं, इनको लोगों के पास जाने के लिए कुछ नहीं है. और आज मैं आपकी वसात से बिजबेहरा कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी के लोगों को वादा करता हूँ, जितने भी हमारे जेलों में लोग हैं, सोफी यूसुफ का पहला मकसद यही होगा कि उनको जो जिस तरह राजनाथ सिंह जी ने 12,000 नौजवानों को FIR ख़त्म किए, उनको छोड़ दिया, इस तरह मेरा पहला कदम यही होगा कि जो हमारे बंद हैं. आज मुझे बताइए, जमात इस्लामी मेन स्ट्रीम में आ रहे हैं, हम उनको मुबारकबाद देते हैं. सोफी यूसुफ उनको मुबारकबाद देते हैं.
PDP President Mehbooba Mufti has decided not to contest assembly elections till the time Jammu and Kashmir statehood and its special status is restored. She has passed the baton to her daughter Iltija Mufti. And in a changed political scenario after abrogation of Article 370, it's going to be a tough battle. In Bijbehara with cameraman Amir, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Well, meanwhile, the Congress announced its third list of candidates for the upcoming Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections late on Monday evening. The list, comprising 19 names, includes former NSUI President Neeraj Kundan, who has been fielded from the Bishna constituency. In addition to Kundan, the party has also nominated Lal Singh Chaudhary to contest from the Basoli seat. Another prominent name on the list is Raman Bhalla, who will be representing the Congress in the RS Pura Jammu South constituency. With this latest announcement, the Congress has now declared a total of 34 candidates for the assembly polls. Nazir Masoodi is tracking all the finer details for us as far as battleground Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. He joins us live at the moment. Nazir, of the 19 candidates, 3 are from the Kashmir region, while 16 are from the Jammu region for the Congress?
Well, Congress has most of the candidates from Congress comes from the Jammu region. And this is the third list of the candidates Congress has released late last night. And there are senior leaders, top party senior leaders who have been given mandate, who have been given ticket to fight BJP. And everybody was waiting for this list because BJP has already announced this candidate list in Jammu region. And these leaders are working president of the Congress, Raman Bhalla. He will be contesting election. Lal Singh from Basoli in Kutwa. Both Lal Singh and Raman Bhalla had fought parliament elections as well, recent parliament elections as well from Udaipur and Jammu. Then there's Manohar Lal Sharma, he's also contesting election. So senior leaders have been fielded by the Congress. So so far they have released a list of 34 candidates. That is the number of almost now there are 1 or 2 constituencies where they have to field the candidates because most of the seats in Jammu and Kashmir Assembly are being contested by National Conference as part of the Airlines. And there are 52 seats by National Conference, 32 seats by the Congress. There are also, some seats, 5 seats where both the parties are having friendly contests. But friendly contest in Banihal constituency has gone terribly wrong for the NC Congress allies because Congress candidate, Vicar Rasool, he was the former president of the Congress also. He's not in scattering attacks on National Conference and terming National Conference flag, red flag, which is soaked in blood. So there has been a strong reaction from the NC and Congress. He has distanced itself from his statements and has condemned the statement of their own candidate against its alliance partner, National Conference and its leadership.
As always, Nazir, thank you so much for joining us with the latest from Jammu and Kashmir. Well, meanwhile, in other crucial news, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, who is currently on a 3-day visit to the United States, has again attacked Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP and the RSS. He said the sense of fear that prevailed among people before the 2024 Lok Sabha polls has now disappeared, while the idea of Mr. Modi, his 56-inch chest, direct connection with God, that's all gone. It's history now.
बीजेपी ने कितना, मोदी जी ने कितना डर फैलाया, एजेंसीज का दबाव, मीडिया का दबाव, इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट, छोटे बिजनेसेस पे, मीडियम साइज बिजनेसेस पे, और 1 सेकंड में सब गायब हो गया. In Parliament, I see the Prime Minister right up front. And I can tell you that idea of Mr. Modi, 56-inch chest, direct connection with God, that's all gone. It's history now.
Well, Sunil Prabhu's with us with a live update. Sunil, the second consecutive day of Rahul Gandhi attacking not just the BJP and the RSS, but also the Prime Minister.
That's right. Usually on foreign soil, you try to be bipartisan and look towards furthering interests. But I think there has been a break in this kind of bonhomie ever since Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been in power, and Rahul Gandhi continuing to attack and really it doesn't go well of either the leader of opposition or for the Prime Minister to attack each other on foreign soil. You usually try to sell the image of India, but it's in that backdrop that Rahul Gandhi continuing to say what he says in Parliament and outside Parliament in India, reiterating that in America. So it's a 3-day visit, and definitely Rahul Gandhi continuing to say that he does not hate Prime Minister Narendra Modi, understands and empathizes with him, but going on to make those remarks that we have put on for our viewers to see.
Right. Thanks so much, Sunil, for joining us with that brief update. Let's get you the latest tech news. Apple's biggest event of the year arrived, and with it, the iPhone 16 lineup and a slew of AI-related updates for iOS 18. Apple Intelligence was the star of the Apple event this year, and Apple's lineup of announcements echoed many of the anticipated hardware reveals, including the new iPhone 16, the AirPods 4, the Apple Watch Series 10, and more. Now, whether Monday's reveals end up inspiring or delaying a super cycle of customers adopting the new iPhone 16 lineup remains to be seen, but Apple's focus on artificial intelligence as a core part of its sales pitch, that seems to be moving forward now clearly more than ever. Well, joining us with the latest on Apple's latest discoveries and announcements, we have with us our technical guru. Thanks so much, Gaurav, for joining us. Now, with the 2 new AirPods models and a strong focus on hearing health features, how will this enhance user experience, and what are the implications for Apple's push into the health tech space?
I think, of course, it's clearly showing the vision that Apple has took in terms of entering into this space of health tech. In fact, even before AirPods, हमने देखा कि Apple Watch के साथ में भी, over the years, Apple has always enabled new features in each generation so that the users are able to track their health in a better way. And यहाँ पे भी जो hearing health वाला feature आया है in the AirPod Pro 2, it clearly ensures कि yes, more and more users will be able to take advantage of this new feature, जहाँ पे hearing loss is something जिसको शायद इतना easily diagnosed नहीं किया जाता है, but because this hearing test is just a tap away, आप सीधा एक test ले सकते हैं, and उसके बाद you can clearly see the kind of hearing you are able to get from your ears, and उसके बाद यहाँ पे the software adapt to your requirements in music app if you're watching videos, for example. And in fact, how Apple is kind of doubling the AirPods as a hearing aid, it's clearly revolutionary and game changing, I would say, because we have seen that this is the world's most popular pair of earphones, और आगे जाके जब ज़्यादा लोग इसको यूज़ करने वाले हैं और kind of it doubles up as your music companion and as well as your hearing aid, it's quite significant. और मुझे लगता है कि आगे जाके we'll see more and more such devices, could be a smart ring, could be even a better tracker, maybe a better watch, maybe better earphones to track even more parameters, kind of blurring the line between professional medical grade equipments and consumer grade products, जहाँ पे हम उनको भी यूज़ करके हमारी हेल्थ को better track कर सकते हैं.
Right. Let's talk about the Apple Watch series. Now, the Series 10 marks the decade of innovation. Gaurav, take us through what stands out the most about this model, and how are the new health features like sleep apnea detection likely to impact users?
Well, speaking about the Apple Watch Series 10, it's quite a significant upgrade because abhi yahan pe it is quite slim, or the screen is actually increased. Now it comes in 2 sizes, which is 42 and 46 mm. हमारे पास में 2 अलग-अलग options हैं. One is with aluminum casing and second is with titanium. But in fact, it's a polished titanium. Looks like stainless steel, but it's actually quite light. And यहाँ पे with this new S10 chip, हमें काफ़ी smart features मिले हैं because even the screen is a wide angle OLED screen, जहाँ पे the pixels they kind of emit lights even in a wider angle, ताकि अगर आप एक glance भी लेते हैं watch का, still you are able to see all the relevant information on the screen. और इसी के साथ साथ this sleep apnea detection is quite impactful, I would say, because it's a condition जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा cases में it goes completely undiagnosed. But because this Apple Watch can clearly track it over the last 30 days and then give a summary of how the breathing has been. Is it elevated too much? Then of course it will give an alert as well. तो मुझे लगता है कि काफ़ी interesting approach है, and altogether this new sleek design, especially the new jet black color, the new speaker grill, जहाँ पे now you can play your music directly from the Apple Watch. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a music video. So ये सब काम हम कर सकते हैं, and altogether like generation over generation we have seen that how Apple Watch has grown, and now this Series 10 clearly takes it to the next level with all these features combined.
Right, but with these announcements, how do you think Apple plans to position itself in the rapidly evolving tech landscape, especially with the integration of generative artificial intelligence and the focus on health and wearables?
I clearly see that Apple is trying to establish itself in a way that, yes, Apple has the solution no matter what product you are looking at. Considering the kind of ecosystem Apple has, the lineup Apple has, starting from iPhones to Apple Watches to AirPods to in fact even iPads and the Mac lineup, they have kind of everything covered. And uske saath mein, when you have these new AI features, when you have these new Gen AI features, for example, also there's a thing about privacy because Apple is using the private cloud compute. At the same time, जब हम health features को भी देखते हैं, maybe the new health features in the watches or in the AirPods, altogether I think it's a really solid lineup from Apple. And considering the user base that Apple has got, like millions and millions of people use all these Apple products all around the globe, so a small step that Apple takes, it creates a huge impact. And I think that's what will benefit Apple going forward, because the Apple ecosystem is such that, okay, you just start with one product, maybe it's an iPhone, maybe an Apple Watch hai, और उसके बाद में you just add one more and one more and one more, and then together they work beautifully well. At the same time, all these new features kind of make all these powerful devices even more powerful. तो मुझे लगता है कि Apple is rightly headed, and Apple just wants to create this entire lineup wherein there is something for someone for sure.
Well, we are eagerly waiting for you to bring us some Apple goodies from California. Thanks so much, Gaurav, for joining us with that update. News and updates continue as always on NDTV 24/7. Do stay tuned right after this very short break.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Landslide devastation in Kerala's Wayanad. Join NDTV's initiative. Donate for Kerala.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Hi, I'm Shreya Saran. Kerala's Wayanad area is hit by devastating landslides, resulting in loss of lives and livelihood. Kerala needs your help right now. Let's join NDTV initiative. Come, donate. Let's rebuild Wayanad.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India. We have grown and achieved so many."
Our big focus, well, from Riyadh, Dr. Jaishankar is travelling to Germany, where he will meet the German Foreign Minister, as well as the leadership and other ministers from the German government, in order to review bilateral relations. This will actually be his third bilateral visit to Berlin. And as you know, India and Germany share a robust strategic partnership, with Germany actually being a key trade partner and major FDI source. On the third and final leg of his trip, Dr. Jaishankar will be in Geneva. Mohammad Ghazali is tracking the finer details of Dr. Jaishankar's short Europe touchdown. He joins us live at the moment. Ghazali, take us through the plan of action of the Foreign Minister's two-day Berlin visit.
See, Parmeshwar, as you rightly mentioned, this trip is very significant because Germany is not our partner in energy or solar alliance, but it is also a very reliant partner when it comes to defense procurement, and is a very important partner in the entire European region. Also, German Chancellor is scheduled to visit India next month. So before his visit, Mr. Jaishankar is there to discuss a gamut of issues of all the bilateral ties related to trade, investment, defense, energy sector, and different other sectors. And also, you see that there is global conflict happening, and many countries have voiced their opinion that perhaps India could be a possible peacemaker when it comes to the conflict in Ukraine, Russia, or even in the West Asia. So considering the changing situation at global level, Mr. Jaishankar's visit is very relevant there. And also it will improve our ties with Germany, as German Chancellor is also supposed to visit India next month. So be it related to the trade sector, be it related to energy sector or our defense procurement sector. All these sectors, all these issues will be under discussion when Mr. Jaishankar touches down or reaches Germany. He will be meeting the Foreign Minister of Germany, and he's also scheduled to meet and expected to meet the Chancellor of Germany to sort of boost our ties, boost our relations with Germany.
Right, Ghazali, thanks so much for joining us with that crucial update. We will, of course, revert to you for regular updates during Dr. Jaishankar's two-day visit to Berlin. We also have with us, for further clarity, former Ambassador D.P. Srivastav. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the World 24/7. Now, in terms of challenges, sir, Germany has been particularly skeptical about India's trade liberalization measures, essentially batting for more liberal labor regulations. What do you think are some of the challenges in our relationship that are likely to come up during Dr. Jaishankar's touchdown and likely to be addressed as well?
I think the most important thing for us is to recognize that both India and Germany have their own trajectories. There's a convergence, and the convergence is there in terms of technology partnership, in terms of markets, but you cannot ignore the domestic dynamics. So labor relations or labor regulations, this directly impinges on domestic politics. There is very little leeway here. But what can be changed is facilitation in terms of establishing new business, repatriating the profits. Germany is the largest investor in India with total investment of 14 billion. And some of the flagship investments are, Siemens. India, BHEL, Siemens has a 6 decades partnership with BHEL for turbine manufacture. It is, then you have Mercedes, you have Volkswagen, and incidentally, Volkswagen also owns Skoda. So it's an impressive partnership, but there's much potential for growth. If you compare German investment in India with German investment in China, there's a huge difference. So we need to do a lot more work. And I think Germany also realizes that India represents a way forward if they want to de-risk their excessive reliance on Chinese market. And this provides the context for exploring avenues for more cooperation between the two countries.
Well, India and Germany are key trade partners, and Germany is a major FDI source. It's no surprise. But, sir, does the new coalition government that's formed in Germany Do you think it offers an opportunity for India to strengthen the strategic partnership between our two nations? What do you believe is the scope of cooperation?
Well, we do not, I'm an ex-diplomat, so old habits die hard. We do not comment on internal changes, but this will not impact on Germany's stance towards India.
Right.
It is preoccupied, of course, with the events nearer home, particularly Ukraine, and now that there's the migration issue has come to the fore, but Europe has also moved closer to United States. So these domestic and external developments limit Germany's margin of maneuver. But still, India represents a middle way where they can talk to us, and there's a lot in common between Indian positions from areas ranging from Gaza to Far East to China.
So also, since more than 20% of German trade is actually conducted in the Indo-Pacific neighborhood, would you say Germany's outlook is of shared responsibility to maintain stability, because both India and Europe's key interests are at stake when it comes to championing a free and open Indo-Pacific?
Well, we have to recognize that China continues to be one of the largest markets for German exports.
Yes.
And despite the caution voiced by German government, recently the German auto industry doubled up on its investments in China. So that is a boundary condition which we cannot ignore. Germany is also a member of NATO, but NATO's focus remains closer home. So Indo-Pacific is a region where India has a role, and India has partnership with countries like US,
yes,
Japan, and Australia. Germany could play a supporting role, but this will be limited by its continued focus on China.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the World 24/7. Always a pleasure to hear your perspective. With that, let's turn our attention to the other big story we're tracking. Well, just under 2 weeks before Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit to the United States, Washington has announced a new partnership with India aimed at enhancing semiconductor supply chains. Now, this initiative will include a thorough evaluation of India's semiconductor sector, focusing on its existing infrastructure, regulatory environment, workforce, as well as the future needs. But the findings from this assessment will help actually guide potential joint efforts to bolster this vital industry. But this announcement follows India's recent semiconductor ecosystem partnership with Singapore, which was formalized during Mr. Modi's visit there last week. But our Prime Minister is scheduled to travel to the United States from the 21st until the 24th of this month for the Quad Leaders Summit, the Summit of the Future, and a diaspora event in the US as well. And in staying with an update from the United States, well, Vice President Kamala Harris and former US President Donald Trump are engaged in final preparations for their high-stakes debate in Philadelphia. The debate is taking place as recent polls suggest Harris's surge in public opinion may have plateaued. Since the American public knows far more about Trump than about Kamala Harris, many argue that the stakes for her seem higher. But until we see what happens on that stage, it's hard to determine what a win for either candidate looks like. But debates are unpredictable things. Just ask Joe Biden. Meanwhile, with the holidays now firmly in the rearview mirror, the investment mood is tracking the drawing in of the evenings as autumn begins. Well, after 2 years of rising interest rates, the big question is whether or not the United States can avoid a recession. Well, equity markets across the world traded down last week. Two major economic indicators for the US that were released show that the US economy may contract sooner and stronger than expected. In fact, many investors are nervous that the decision by the US Federal Reserve on interest rates is too late and is behind the cycle. It's also feared that even if the US lowers rates over 2 weeks, it will have a limited effect on its economy that moves towards lower growth and higher unemployment. We have with us Jayant Krishna joining us, who needs no introduction. Thank you so much, sir, for making time for us. Would you argue that the United States could easily be tumbling towards a major recession after the job market indicators point towards unemployment, even though the rate of it had dipped in recent weeks?
So, yeah, I would feel that, as many economists have said, that the US economy may contract sooner and perhaps to a greater degree than what it was forecast a few months ago. If you look at some of the recent indicators, the growth has lowered, the unemployment rate is higher. There has been a real contraction in the manufacturing sector. In July, it contracted by about 0.3%. And for 20th time in the last 21 years, the manufacturing sector has contracted, So these are surely not good trends at all. But, they're mixed signals because if you look at the US average hourly earnings, that last month went up. New jobs did get created. The expectation was that about 160,000 jobs will get created. That didn't happen, but about 142,000 jobs did get created. If you look at, I was reading Barclays economist view, and and they say that the economy may not go for a recession as bad as people are forecasting. So there is an uncertainty, which is not good for the stock markets, and no wonder if you look at last week, overall. The S&P 500 contracted by about 4%, NASDAQ fell by about 6% a week as a whole, and Dow Jones Industrial Index also shrunk by almost 3%. So I think this is it's a mixed bag, and with US elections happening, the uncertainty continues and it only mounts up. Right. So I think and taking looking at what has happened in the US equity markets worldwide traded downwards. Last week, let's see what's in store this week. But things don't look as promising as one would have expected.
Yes, some people argue that it's not all rosy, but then on the other hand, you have some arguing that the US economy is actually cruising towards a soft landing with no recession on the table. But sir, what's your assessment? How has the uncertainty in US equity markets actually influenced global markets?
So, one is the fact is our supply chains, our trade linkages all over the world. What happens in the largest economy in the world does affect other economies because the supply chain, linkages because of export imports, But the fact is, as a standalone, if you look at some of the major economies, look at UK. UK's economy has not been doing well in Rishi Sunak's days also. And if you look at now with the new Labour Party-led government, their projection of a gloomy economy continues. In fact, they have said, be prepared for the worst. Germany, if you look at the recession which had hit their economy last year, it continues. In fact, the overall EU growth rate that one is talking about in 2024 is as low as 1%. And a recent report by EU, which was chaired by the former Italian premier, it talks about EU facing some kind of a existential crisis, and they have talked about EU as a whole, as an economic entity, have to talk about, have to thrash out and formulate a strategy to fight. Not fight, but how do you grow? How do you keep EU relevant vis-a-vis China and US economies? And unless big time investments flow in, things may not look good elsewhere. China, if you look at their growth rate, had the overall economy's growth rate had shrunk. It is still not that bad, with about 4.6% to 5% projection for 2024. All markets, in Tokyo, Hong Kong, the Asian markets, Shanghai, Seoul, they all showed a downward trend last week. Even Sydney in Australia fell. So I think these are, India perhaps remains the only bright spot, but but the fact is, even our economy, our GDP didn't grow as much as it grew, and in vis-a-vis the projection it was there for July figures which are out. So I think actually for the Q1 figures, which are out. So I think it's a mixed bag, and partly the market's not doing well, and the downfall that you saw last week is attributable to the US shrinkage of the stock markets, and largely because many of these economies not doing as well. So it is a cumulative effect of both the things, I would believe.
Well, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on the World 24/7 with your assessment.
Pleasure.
While the world grapples with choked shipping routes owing to geopolitical tensions, a shorter route running along the Russian north coast and passing through the remote Arctic Circle promises a lot.
We are right now standing beside this big icebreaker ship.
Watch this NDTV special from the far west corner of Russia in the Arctic Circle to know more about the Northern Sea route and its significance pertaining to India. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Landslide devastation in Kerala's Wayanad. Join NDTV's initiative. Donate for Kerala.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Hi, I'm Shreya Saran. Kerala's Wayanad area is hit by devastating landslides, resulting in loss of lives and livelihood. Kerala needs your help right now. Let's join NDTV initiative. Come, donate. Let's rebuild Wayanad.
While the world grapples with choked shipping routes owing to geopolitical tensions, a shorter route running along the Russian north coast and passing through the remote Arctic Circle promises a lot.
We are right now standing beside this big icebreaker ship.
Watch this NDTV special from the far west corner of Russia in the Arctic Circle to know more about the Northern Sea route and its significance pertaining to India.
Hello and welcome to watching NDTV. I am Vedanta Kadal. Coming up on the show this morning, in Kolkata, doctors continue to be up in arms despite the Supreme Court's ultimatum. This is Mamata Banerjee's insensitive remark also sparks a row now. We'll get you all the latest on that. But first up, the headlines. Mamata Banerjee's return to Pujo remarks sparks a political row. The Chief Minister says join Puja festivities. The victims' families say, but what about us? Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee says doctors' protest is disturbing people. Kolkata doctors defy the Supreme Court's end the strike ultimatum. Doctors up in arms day after the Supreme Court flagged probe lapses. Rahul Gandhi's remarks on Sikhs stirs a controversy. Rahul Gandhi in the US says there's a fight in India over Sikh identity. The BJP hits back, says 84 riots happened when the Congress was in power. Haryana Chief Minister Nayaab Singh Saini to file nomination papers in Ladwa. He's set to file nominations from a new constituency for him. This is on the opposition front. The Aam Admi Party set to go solo after talks with the Congress failed. An Audi owned by a BJP Neta's son injures two youths in Nagpur. A BJP Neta's son's luxury car hits vehicles. The driver has been arrested. The police say the occupants of the car were returning from a pub. The Neta's son fled the spot. Is corruption robbing the capital's breath? The Pollution Board official booked for corruption an over 2 crore rupee cash haul at the Pollution Board's officials' residence. Attempt to derail goods train in Ajmer. The third train derailment bid in Rajasthan in just 30 days. Blocks on Ajmer track after train hit cylinder on a Kanpur track. iPhone 16 has been launched at a 79,900 rupee price at the Apple event 2024. An AI-powered iPhone is front and center. And our lead story this morning, well, the latest on the Kolkata rape and murder horror. Well, Mamata Banerjee's statement has sparked a row now. Well, Mamata Banerjee said that it's been over a month of protests in West Bengal and the government has overlooked it, but now we must return to Pujo festivities. This right ahead of Durga Puja. Now remember, the victim's family has said, what about our festivities? We have lost our daughter. What about us? This is Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has also said that the government has overlooked the protests and the protests are disturbing people. This as doctors continue to be up in arms. But listen in to what Mamata Banerjee had to say.
কেন্দ্রীয় সরকারের সম্পূর্ণ চক্রান্ত আছে এবং আরো কয়েকটা লেফট পার্টিস দে আর অলসো ইনভলভ ইন দিস কনস্পিরেসি যাদের মানুষের কাছে যাবার ক্ষমতা নেই যেহেতু আমরা কিছু পাল্টা করছি না একতরফা হয়ে যাচ্ছে রাতের বেলায় পুজোর সময় পুলিশ রাত জেগে পাহারা দেয় কোনো দুর্ঘটনা ঘটলে পাহারা দেয় দাঙ্গা হলে পাহারা দেয় দুর্যোগ হলে পাহারা দেয় কিন্তু প্রতিদিন রাতে আপনারা যদি রাস্তায় থেকে অনেক মানুষ তো ডিস্টার্ব হয় অনেক এলাকায় অনেক বয়স্ক মানুষ আছে মাইক লাগালে তাদের ঘুমের অসুবিধেও হয় যার জন্য নিয়মও আছে পলিউশন কন্ট্রোল বোর্ডের 10টার পর মাইক বাজানো যাবে না বা এত স্পিডে মাইক বাজাবেন তার বেশি বাজানো যাবে না তা সত্ত্বেও আমরা সব ছেড়ে দিয়েছি এক মাস তো হয়ে গেল আজকে 9 তারিখ এক মাস একদিন 31 মাস গেছে আমি অনুরোধ করব পুজোতে ফিরে আসুন উৎসবে ফিরে আসুন আর সিবিআই কে বলবো তাড়াতাড়ি বিচারের ব্যবস্থা করুন
In fact, let me go across to my colleague Saurabh Gupta joining us live from Kolkata. In fact, Saurabh is there at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. Saurabh, doctors continue to be up in arms. What are their reactions, in fact, to the Chief Minister's remark? Because the victim's family certainly has said that, what about our festivities? What about us, as Mamata Banerjee asks people to return to Pujo festivities?
Well, there's no doubt that there's been a genuine outpouring of anger on the streets, that people have come out on the streets, whether it's midnight, whether it's, reclaim the night protests, or whether it's just genuine protests. But also alongside what has happened is that the junior doctors have not returned to work. Now, this is RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. And in the absence of junior doctors, and everybody knows at a hospital, while senior doctors, consultants, surgeons, nurses, paramedic staff all form a huge component of how these hospitals function, the role of junior doctors is also critical. And without junior doctors back at work in several public hospitals in Kolkata, there is no doubt treatment of patients has suffered. And that, of course, is an argument that the Supreme Court perhaps took into consideration while ordering doctors to return to work by 5 p.m. But the doctors say they will carry on their protest. However, the state government at this point has not taken any punitive measures. What we are being given to understand is that the state government will try an open dialogue, will try and convince the doctors to
sort of return to work. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee yesterday also mentioned that we've done, we've overlooked, that we've allowed all the protests, I beg your pardon, not overlooked, but we've allowed all the protests that have taken place. But now it's been a month, so the pujas are around the corner and you need to return to work. Utsav Phirun is basically a return to festivities as well. And this is something that has, doctors have taken objection to. But, the Supreme Court's orders are very clear.
All right, we seem to have lost that line with Saurabh Gupta. We'll try and reconnect with him. But as Saurabh was reporting, a genuine outpouring of anger on the streets of Kolkata. Joining me also on the broadcast, Dr. Shauturupa of the BJP, also Tausif Ahmed, the TMC supporter. Before going across to them, let's listen to what the victim's family, in fact, had to say on the Chief Minister's remarks.
দেশের মানুষ যদি ভাবে যে উৎসবে ফিরবে কিন্তু দেশের মানুষ তো আমার মেয়েটাকে নিজের পরিবারের মেয়ে ভাবছে তারা যদি পারে ফিরতে আমার কিছুই বলার নেই
And Tausif Ahmed and Dr. Shauturupa are with us. Tausif Ahmed, many would say that this is a rather insensitive remark at a time when you have palpable anger on the streets of Kolkata, asking people to return to Pujo festivities. Does that make sense? I mean, it is a very insensitive remark. In fact, the victim's family asks your party and asks your party boss, what about our festivities?
So if the same request, the request which Mamata Banerjee is making for the junior doctors to return to work, the same request was made by Supreme Court yesterday. Is Supreme Court also insensitive? Is the Chief Justice of India also insensitive to make the same request that Mamata Banerjee is making? This junior doctors protest has caused death. More than 25 deaths it has caused. And this was placed before the Supreme
Limited
Court
point is,
also yesterday.
Why are you talking about festivities at a time when there's a genuine outpouring on the streets of Kolkata? And, what do you have to say to the victim's family? The victim's family is asking, what about our festivities? What do you have to say to them?
Absolutely. This is a festive season, and yes, the victim family's festivity will be when the justice is delivered, when the culprit, who is the accused Sanjay Ghosh, Sanjay Roy, who is in custody, will be hanged to death. And for this reason, Mamata Banerjee has proposed a new law, which has been already passed by the State West Bengal Assembly, and this has to be consented to by the Governor of West Bengal and subsequently by the President of India, because the provision to hang the rapist, there is no provision at present unless this law proposed by the Mamata Banerjee government is allowed. And then I absolutely agree with the victim's family that their festivity will be on the day when the rapist is hanged to death. And who is facilitating this? Mamata Banerjee herself is facilitating this. The Bengal government has already passed the bill. Now the ball is in the court of BJP or the governor of Bengal.
That's just passing the buck, Tausif Ahmed. I don't take your point at all, because that's just passing the buck. You are saying that the ball is in the governor's court. The BJP says Mamata Banerjee failed to provide justice. This is really not done. Dr. Shauturupa, your response to what Tausif Ahmed said, though, that perhaps it's now the ball is in the CBI's court and in the governor's court. But this remark has triggered a lot of sharp responses, and rightfully so.
Good morning. Although the mornings are not very good these days, I completely denounce what Tausif has been saying for so long. Let me just come back to the point, because Tausif took the whole thing, he went completely astray. Yesterday, Mamata Banerjee has said a few, usually what she says is, she's a blatant liar. So she's again back to her own track record, and she said quite a few lies, in fact, I would say. Firstly, she has been telling, apart from the major request that she's made to I would say, a very sarcastic instruction that she's made to the people of West Bengal, that enough is enough. It's now 1 month, 1 day. Please return to festivities. You see, Durga Puja, even my household, my home we have a 200-year-old puja. The puja it has to be done. But the festivities along with that, wearing new clothes, going around, eating and basically making merry, that I don't think the entire people of West Bengal are ready to do yet.
Yes.
And we won't. I mean, this request coming from the Chief Minister of West Bengal, when the entire state, now the Vedant, if you look at West Bengal, it has gone beyond BJP, CPM, Trinamool, it's gone beyond political parties. The entire people are out on the road, and the rage, the anger, the anguish is palpable. And then what when the Supreme Court has ordered that the junior doctors return to work, one has to understand the anguish that these young children are going through. Young children, I'm saying, because they're all very young doctors, very intelligent people, and they have shown extreme self-restraint. They have never been violent on the road. However, yes, as far as medical emergencies are concerned, this weird number of some 23 deaths is also something I don't buy. People do die. People are dying in West Bengal because of the complete mismanagement of the health system. If you see, Vedant, the person that they're talking about, who came all the way from a rural place, not even rural, a suburban place, Konnagar, it has a super speciality hospital, but is never staffed.
No, I agree with
there
you that there are larger questions
stand
on the
there.
public health system that, of course, are valid ones. But Tausif Ahmed, what Shatrupa said is right. This has gone beyond BJP and the TMC. The anger that you see on the streets, it's like never seen before angst, something that your own party MP said on record. In fact, you have members of civil society, not just doctors, but right-thinking citizens across the board joining the protests. And I mean, you fail to read the room when you say that that festivities must be returned to, and perhaps it's the doctors really who have who should be held accountable for the deaths that are happening. You fail to read the room.
No, I take strong objection to what Satrapati just said, that deaths are happening, death may happen, death keep happening, but we want justice. Look, every life is precious. No one is stopping the protesters from continuing their protest. They may continue with their protest. The only request that is made by the Chief Minister and as well as by the Chief Justice of India is that junior doctors who are on a continuous protest at the cost of their duty, that should stop. They must return to hospital, and then at the same time, continue with your protest as long as you want, because I believe, like everyone else believes, that justice is not done yet. Okay. When will justice be done?
Okay,
when
but I'm afraid that's not what your party boss said. Your party boss didn't say the doctors should return to work because patients are dying. She said we should return to work because of festivities. So there are two different things, and perhaps it could have been more sensitively worded. I think that's what the point here is. But thanks very much, Shatrupa and Tausif Ahmed, for being with us. But looking at the other aspect of this story, well, doctors continue to protest outside the RG Medical College and Hospital. In fact, this comes just a day after the Supreme Court also appealed to the junior doctors to return to duty. In fact, the Supreme Court had flagged various probe lapses as well, including delay in FIR and, of course, also a missing document as far as the post-mortem is concerned. But let me go across live to my colleague Saurabh Gupta, joining us from the RG Medical College and Hospital. Saurabh, over to you. Tell us what's happening there.
I mean, these protests, the doctors say, will continue. But at the end of the day, it's a Supreme Court order. And if openly a Supreme Court order is defied, that is something that perhaps there are legal consequences and, and other consequences too. And perhaps the doctors will have to take responsibility, junior doctors, for defying the Supreme Court order. Because remember, at the end of the day, while they are the aggrieved party here, while, one of their colleagues has been brutally murdered and raped in a hospital, while safety and security of doctors are in question, the fact is the Supreme Court has set up a task force. The Supreme Court has also asked the state government to file a report on what immediate measures have been taken. The CISF has been deployed. All of these measures have been taken to improve the situation. And it is in this context that the Supreme Court has said that, they will ensure that security and other aspects of the grievances of doctors will be looked into. However, the doctors have said they will continue their strike. Obviously, there is a public sentiment that they are depending on. Also, they are depending on support from other places. But at the end of the day, it's a Supreme Court order, and that's also one part of looking at it. And of course, the Chief Minister yesterday said that we should return to normalcy. It's been one sort of month of protests. All of these, that is in the political realm. Those are political arguments. But what we're talking about here is what the Supreme Court has said and what the doctors plan to do. The Supreme Court has said return to work by 5 p.m. today. The doctors plan to defy the Supreme Court of India, for which, of course, there are legal consequences as well. But how the doctors deal with those consequences is again something that we will see. What we are also being given to understand initially, that the state government will not take punitive measures. They will try and open dialogue. They will try and ask the doctors to return to work. They will present whatever they've been able to do. But if the doctors choose to cease stay away from work because of certain other political demands, for example, outside, some of the demands are a resignation of the police commissioner, etc., etc. If that is the reason, then of course that is not something that perhaps would fit in with the argument about security and safety of doctors. So these are still in the realm of speculation, possibilities. 5 p.m. is the deadline. We'll have to wait and see if the doctors choose to defy that deadline or not.
All right, Saurabh, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. As Saurabh is reporting, the doctors plan to defy the Supreme Court order. What happens next remains to be seen, but of course, a very crucial development there in this story. This, of course, after the Supreme Court flagged probe lapses. Moving now to the other big headline, well, a train derailment bid has been foiled in Ajmer. In fact, there were 70 kg cement blocks that were placed on the railway track in Ajmer. So a close shave there certainly for that goods train in Ajmer. In fact, importantly, this comes right after, in fact, just a day after what happened in Kanpur, where a train hit an LPG cylinder. So, of course, multiple train derailment attempts now coming to light, and we'll try and go across to our colleague Harsha Kumari Singh, in fact, joining us live. So, Harsha ma'am, what's really behind these train derailment conspiracies as they're being called? We saw one in Sabarmati, also, just a month back, there was a similar incident in Alwar as well. Has the police been able to come up with anything concrete when it says that this is a conspiracy?
Well, the fact that these coincidentally are happening one after the other lends credence to the conspiracy theory. Definitely, because like you said, last month, in fact, there were two more cases which I must point out. One was between Pali and Jodhpur on the Ahmedabad line, a very crucial railway line where again, similarly, the cement blocks had been placed. Another one was on the Kota Bara at a place called Chhabra, where a motorcycle chassis was placed on the railway track. So, the fact that these are happening one after the other, the modus operandi seems to be the same. You can sort of put some kind of an object which will obstruct the train, perhaps even cause a derailment, and then you disappear from that. It's usually done in the dead of the night. This happened on the on the 8th night, and then of course the goods train driver went through it. They found remains of those cement blocks on either sides of the railway tracks. He's reported it to the police, but unfortunately, they've not been able to get to the bottom of it. That's what's worrying, because, so far they've averted any kind of derailment, but this could actually cause a serious accident. And somewhere, railway safety with so many passengers traveling is, of course, paramount for the railways. But, these kind of, so-called, accidents which are being set up are definitely a cause of concern. We are speaking to the railway authorities. As soon as they have some concrete leads, we'll be able to tell you. But I think right now, the railway authorities, despite this being the third incident in a month and a half, are still fumbling in the dark.
All right, Hasham, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. The ball very much in the Railway Ministry's court also, given the fact that not just these train derailment attempts, but also the kind of train accidents that we've seen, particularly in the past 6 months, whether it was the incident in Siliguri, later what happened in Uttar Pradesh. So, of course, larger questions on the safety of our railway tracks as well. What really is the Railway Ministry saying on this? My colleague Vasudha Venugopal reports.
we understand is that the Railway Ministry has delved deep into these incidents, and it has created a dossier in which it is found out that in the last 1 year, which is starting from May last year, there have been at least 24 such incidents where there could be suspicions regarding attempts to derailment, and these have happened across the country, with the majority of them happening in the northern part of India and also in western states. This incident in Rajasthan is specifically reflective of the trend that Indian Railways has seen in the last few months. This is in fact the third serious incident that has happened in the last 2 months alone. We saw this was the instance of 2 cement blocks 70 kg each, and this could have led to a major derailment. But of course, the dedicated freight corridor police force and also the dedicated RPF that we have also saw this in the nick of time, and they reported to the police, and the state police also got into action. So what we understand from the Railway Ministry sources is that there has been an attempt to ensure that there is marking of all sensitive zones across the country. The Railway Ministry has sprung into action with regard to these incidents that have been erupting across the country, and it has basically asked for increased patrolling, monitoring, and also coordinated working amongst all these dedicated police forces, including the state police. It is also looking at the 24 incidents that have happened in the last 1 year, and it has asked for specific reports from states as well, especially from state police, as to what kind of investigation is going on and what kind of people have been detained. For instance, in the last 2 instances before this Rajasthan incident happened, both in Prayagraj and in Kanpur, one regarding the Sabarmati Express, there have been people who have been detained. Specifically with regard to Sabarmati Express, 6 people have been detained. So Railway Ministry is looking at all this, but in a few days from now we will get to know if there was any sort of conspiracy angle attached to it. But as of now, Railway Ministry is not really jumping to conclusions. It is on high alert, and it is looking at all these incidents holistically and in fact very seriously, marking the sensitive zones and ensuring that it is working in coordination with state police to find out what kind of wrongdoing is happening and what kind of conspiracy is behind this.
All right, so larger questions certainly as far as this entire train derailment conspiracy is concerned. But moving now to news coming in from Maharashtra, a hit and run case has been reported in Nagpur. In fact, an Audi car owned by a BJP Neta's son hit several parked vehicles and also injured 2 youths. In fact, the driver has been arrested. The BJP Maharashtra president's son is who this car belongs to, though he was not behind the wheel, it was another person, and the driver has now been arrested. But importantly, what the police say is that the occupants of the car were returning from a pub and the BJP Neta's son fled the spot.
रात की घटना है, सेंटर पॉइंट होटल के सामने ये घटना हुई है। एक कार ने 2 कार और एक बाइक को डैश करके वो भाग गई है और भाग गई थी। जख्मी कोई नहीं था उसमें, और उसका गुना दाखिल कर दिया है। दोनों आरोपियों को अरेस्ट भी कर लिया है और मेडिकल जांच भी करवा ली है। आगे की कार्रवाई चालू है और आरोपी के नाम अर्जुन हावरे और रोनित चिंतनवार है।
माझ्या मुलाच्या नावाने ती गाडी आहे आणि पोलिसांनी पूर्ण चौकशी केली पाहिजे, कोणालाही वेगळा न्याय लावू नये आणि पोलीस इन्क्वायरीमध्ये जे दोषी असतील त्यावर ती कारवाई केली पाहिजे। मी कुठल्याही पोलीस यंत्रणेची आता बोललो नाही, त्यांना जे आढळेल सीसीटीव्हीमध्ये किंवा जे काही त्याच्यामध्ये गुन्हा दाखल होईल तो सर्वांसाठी न्यायासारखा असला पाहिजे, कोणी राजकारणाचा असो कोणी असो। पण मला जे वाटतं पोलिसांनी पूर्ण इन्क्वायरी केली पाहिजे, सीसीटीव्ही सर्व्हेलन्स तपासले पाहिजे आणि योग्य कारवाई केली पाहिजे। सुदैवाने या अपघातामध्ये परमेश्वराच्या कृपेने कोणालाही त्या ठिकाणी जीवितहानी किंवा काही झाली नाही, मी परमेश्वराचे आभार मानतो। पण ॲक्सिडेंट मात्र याची चौकशी झाली पाहिजे असं मला वाटतं।
An Audi car owned and occupied by Maharashtra BJP State President Chandrasekhar Bawankule's son Sanket hit several vehicles in Nagpur. This incident happened in wee hours of Monday. 5 people were occupying that particular car, including Sanket at the time of the accident. In fact, the car hit 2 cars and 1 bike injuring 2 people. In fact, soon after the accident, Sanket fled from the spot along with 2 other occupants of the car. Of course, 2 people have been arrested at this point, which also include the person who was driving that particular car. We're also made to understand that all these 5 people, including Sanket, were returning from a beer bar in Nagpur area when this incident happened. Was the person who was behind the wheels under the influence of alcohol? That is something that remains to be seen. At this point, of course, a case has been registered for rash and negligent driving. Medical examination has also been carried out, results of which is awaited. But very importantly, Sanket, who is the son of Maharashtra BJP President, fled from the spot. Now, at this point, of course, Maharashtra BJP President has reacted to this, while the Congress has attacked the BJP over the incident, saying that the BJP leaders will try to protect the son as far as this entire accident is concerned. Baonkule has reacted, saying that law must be equal for all and action will be taken against the perpetrators. That's the reaction which came in from Maharashtra BJP President, whose son was involved in the accident. But at this point, remains to be seen what the investigations will reveal at this point. Of course, 2 people are so far arrested, and Sanket Baonkule, in fact, fleeing the spot. 2 people injured in this particular accident that happened in Nagpur in Vias.
And moving now to our big exclusive with former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav. Well, he is on his Padyatra across Bihar, and he spoke exclusively to my colleague Manish. He hit out on Nitish Kumar. He said there's never going to be an alliance with Nitish in the future. He also says that the Chief Minister came with folded hands for an alliance with the RJD. Take a look.
देखिए कितनी बार वो 7-8 बार इधर आए और गए, इधर आए और गए, ये उधर इधर जाते रहते हैं।